All right, welcome to another sweet-ass episode of Please Feel Free. This is
nice.
Yeah, we're on a roll here now. We got a few people that we have that we've interviewed, and this week's guest is no different from the rest. You got a slew of information to provide, and we're gonna have a good conversation.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna welcome to the show Ofiqe.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Do you go by any other names?
I'm a little nervous. Shit.
Don't be nervous, man. Just
I'm a little nervous now.
Just be. What are you nervous about?
I don't know. It's just the officialness of it, I guess. You know.
Of the podcast?
The record.
Yeah. Once cameras come out, and I get so nervous, man. I don't know. I'm not used to it, so.
I mean, we could kick the cameras off if you want. We can get rid of them.
No.
But yeah, there's nothing to be nervous about, man. You're in a kitchen.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
not a. It's not a. Look. There's a stove right there. There's a fridge behind you. It's not as professional as you're making it seem.
This is nice, though. It's a great setup. That's what.
Yeah, thanks, man. We're renting.
I saw this. I was like, I love that.
I'm glad that you're here, man. We've it's funny how these things work, man, lately, because we only know each other through Instagram.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
I can't even remember, following you back. You know what I mean? It feels like it's been a minute now, right? Like, I don't even know what month it was last year. It had to have been last year, right?
Yeah, I think it was now, man.
Okay.
To be honest, the last year seems like 10 to me, at least.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've lost all concept of dates. I've there's nothing in your schedule to keep you
grounded.
Yeah. Yeah, to let you know that, like, oh yeah, it's Wednesdays. I got whatever. I got a gym class, whatever the fuck it is. We have no sort of bookmarks in life, to
going with the flow, man.
Sure. But it's at this point, it's almost starting to seem like a Groundhog Day, where we're just experiencing the same shit over and over.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
But yeah, I mean, shittiness aside, let's try to see if we can get a message out there to people. Like, look, man, our whole thing is about freedom. We're trying to discuss all the different ways to be free, and I think a lot of it has gotten taken away from us this last year, and I think that's kind of what drew me to you. Is you still have that? You see it, man. There's so few people from the start that have been able to see some of the bullshit that's happening. So it really, like, it sticks out when you see someone that's like trying
I guess the way I was going so hard too with my Instagram stories, right? Like,
yeah, man. It really
every day.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit to the actual power of.
Take off my sweater.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry, continue.
No, I don't think we give enough credit to. Oh shit! Now I forgot. I don't think we give enough. No, I don't think we give enough credit to. Wait. No, I forgot.
We're talking about freedom, Instagram stories.
Yeah, I don't think we give enough credit to the amount of influence we have.
Yeah.
As real people, you know what I mean? Because we've turned all influence into like influencers and social media, that it represents a social media thing, but that's not, I mean, as true as it is, we still, like, look how tiny of a world it is that we live so close to each other in the same city, but we came across each other through just dumb Instagram shit posting.
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
And then it just rang out where you go, man, this guy, he definitely brings a certain level of truth to the
table.
Yeah. So it really, it sort of really helped me.
Oh shit!
It really helped me draw. It helped me draw, like, want to be more, want to figure out what have a good conversation with you and be able to
see what my message is too, right? Because I have, everybody has their own little thing that they like to preach, and I think, I'm really big on the social engineering aspect of it, right? Just trying to educate people on how the media tries to manipulate people, man. How they pick and choose what they want to, report on. Kind Goddamn, I'm nervous.
No, don't be nervous, man. I mean, if you're nervous, you should be nervous at, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this country. I guess that's what we should be nervous about. Don't be nervous. Speak your, like, what do you think, man? What is it that? How long have you seen the bullshit that media and advertising has done? Like, were you always kind of hip to it, or were you?
I feel like
a victim to it.
I had that gut feeling for a long time. You know what I mean? That everything just, the whole world's just upside down, man. You know, you got the United Nations that was supposed to bring peace. You know, and what I think it was like 52 or something. And everything's just been going to shit since. You know what I mean? But in terms of media, man, not so much. Not until I really started getting into the propaganda aspect of it and the history of it, public relations. But that was with COVID. That came with COVID, right?
Yeah. So COVID kind of kicked off this whole thing for you. Like it kind of just blew it up because when I first met you, it was at the protests.
Yeah.
So like, what got you started in the protests and like really getting active in that?
Yeah, that was that's my first ever protest, right? My first ever, I guess, cause you can say I've went to go fight for. But you know what it is? It's just like it goes back to the media, them not wanting to report stuff, right? So this has been going on. Our little protest there at Queen's Park. Well, it was at Dundas Square before, but it's been going on since April. You know, April of 2020, right?
Wow, that's only a month into the whole pandemic. It started immediately. That's crazy.
And how many times have you seen it on the media or any other channel?
None.
Until you really started to get into that little community and follow the right guys, like, you know, Bankas and...
Yeah, I think that's what took a while, too, was it took a while to see that... a few of the protests, I could see right away that the regular media was just... they were not present, but they were in the city.
Yeah.
And I paid close attention to that, man. I saw CP24 all over the place doing nothing on a lot of protest days where you go, there's a lot happening in the city right now.
Yeah.
And you guys are on break.
And they might even show up. They might interview a few people, and just because they want to set the narrative, you know?
Right.
They don't want people making sense, you know? That's what propagandists do. They don't want anybody to be able to say the you know, the right thing that might plant a seed in the masses. You know, in the minds of the masses, right? So, you know, they might do an interview and say, you know what, this is not good for us. We're not going to put it up, right? Yeah. I've seen it happen. I've seen them interview a few people, and it hasn't seen the light of day, you know? So.
Wow.
What, because the people say too much...
it's too much truth, man.
Too much truth.
You know, and this is the issue, too, with the media, is that... You guys didn't see the video of Justin Trudeau. He made a joke. It was a joke, but it was, you know, he was speaking the truth. He made a joke. I don't know where the hell he was at, but he said, oh, some people say that, you know, the liberal media or the media is too easy on our government. And
wow.
I forget what he said, but he's like, oh.
I saw that. He goes something like, well, of course they would be. We paid them $600 million.
Yeah.
And even if he said it as a cheeky joke, I'll always give somebody the benefit of the doubt if you were joking. I have to. That's my position in life as a comedian. I got to give you, if you're joking, cool, man, you get the chance. But there's still always a bad joke still. Even in the world of jokes, you can make a terrible joke.
Yeah.
And it always stems from truth.
Right.
That's the thing too. It's not like he just came up with that number.
So he's either joking, but that's a weird joke to joke about, or he's not joking, and now there's something bigger that we need to discuss.
And that's what's funny, too, is because all it takes is one simple Google search. I think he said $700 million. You can Google it. That's the exact number. I think Global News or CTV has a breakdown on it and everything, man. It's so funny, you know? And it's just despicable. So. And
what are the odds that they try to introduce a bill recently to be able to control social media and the internet?
That guy, Stephen Galbaud or whatever.
They always look like creeps. That's what bothers me. It can never be like a handsome guy that's saying... It's always some dudes where you're like, yeah, of course you want the internet blocked. He looks
homeless, that guy.
He looks like he has more than a few dick pics. That he sent to people who shouldn't have gotten dick. Like, I think so, man. I see it.
I think we might need to investigate that, man.
Yeah, it doesn't really make it. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance this episode will just get banned.
Yeah, Justin just
Like
wants it because
all
he
our
wants
other
all
episodes.
his racist photos taken off. Dude wants his dick pics taken
of course.
away. They don't want that
I would
shit.
want to censor the internet if somebody found 40 different photos of me in brownface.
Yeah,
That's a great point,
exactly.
Of course, you would want to go. Yeah, why don't we scrub this internet stuff?
It's okay. Once they do that, we'll start making T-shirts.
Yeah.
Put a whole
See, now that's
blackface thing on there.
See,
Yeah,
that's
that's a good
powerful,
idea.
man. That's what we should be doing.
Well, I was gonna wear my "Fuck Doug Ford" T-shirt, but yeah, we need to start.
I still have
like-
that sticker.
Oh, nice, good stuff. You got it from the protest, huh?
I did. We try to
got
go as
mine.
often as we can, man. The one thing
Yeah.
I'm doing. We're trying to make our own effort to rebel against this in our own way. We're just, we try to break as many rules as we can.
Yeah.
So I will always put family before the protest. So on days that
Yeah,
I
you
have
have to,
family
man.
stuff to do, I
Yeah.
break the rules that way. But if I don't, man, I try to come out to every protest that I can. She tries to come out.
Yeah.
And just, it's just interesting to see too, man, because even the protests, you start, even those become somewhat monotonous. Just doing the same thing over and over and going like...
Insanity.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're getting progression
Right.
out of the protest.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like anything. It seems like they're arresting more people. It seems like a degradation.
It's
instead
like
of
it's like the fight on COVID. It's like everlasting. It's ongoing. You're just doing the same thing, and it's like you're just moving your hands, but nothing's
Yeah.
getting done.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of situations. I've had my moments too, but myself. But there's a lot of people that have these moments where they feel like they're at the protest and they're just like, God damn, is this working? It's nice that we're here. It's I don't know, man. I think it's really good for the protesters in terms of having a sense of community,
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure,
Big time.
definitely.
normality.
Absolutely.
But I think we should be using that as a network to really start branching off into different little things. Some people are doing maskless shopping. I don't know if I agree with that one, but
You
but
disagree with the maskless shopping?
it just can't be. It can't be abrasive. That's it.
I never agree with attacking people.
Yeah.
I don't like that approach.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, buddy, fuck you. I don't like that sort of stuff where you're doing it because
Yeah.
I've never seen that ever in the history of the world be effective, where
Yeah.
you could change somebody's way of thinking by like really sort of attacking them. Attacking them never makes someone go, hey, you know what? I think this he's got a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls me
They don't
a
wanna
stupid
listen to
piece
you.
of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard
so
thing to do.
off-putting. Like,
Yeah.
Especially because I think also there's a little bit, it almost seems to become the same side, because like you're doing the same microaggressions, you're doing the passive aggressive shit.
and it's not working either.
No, because it seems like we have to be more compassionate because we should be all, man, if we know that some of this stuff is total bullshit, if we know the tactics they use to try to trick us, we have to be able to understand then why everybody's tricked by it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to. You can't be surprised to go, well, how doesn't this person see it? Well, none of us saw it until we did.
I love it. I love how you put it like that because and that goes back into the whole social engineering aspect, right? Which ties it. This is like political sciences, behavioral sciences, social sciences. This is stuff that you can actually, you can learn about in school.
The real science.
They have studies about this. Yeah. I mean, to me, that stuff is so interesting, man. How people think, what makes them tick.
Yeah.
What you can do to make them do something,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's hundreds of years of this stuff, man. If you guys should look into Ivan Pavlov. If you guys know about him?
Yeah.
Pavlov's dogs.
Uh-huh.
Yes. He learned that, I don't know the
Son
whole
of a gun,
terminology, but you get a stimulant and,
Yeah.
But essentially he can trigger a response from somebody
Through
training
reward.
them.
Through
Yeah.
reward. Yeah.
Yeah, you
positive
condition them,
reinforcement.
right? In a
Yeah,
nutshell,
that's
This is why I should have done my homework a little bit to brush up on everything, but but
No,
yeah.
but it's better. It's better to not, because if someone thinks you're wrong, then get on the fucking computer and start looking it up.
But at the same
Do you know what I
time,
mean? Do it.
I'm a big proponent of if you want to talk about something, I'm not going to talk about something if it's just like, oh, I think it's this,
Sure.
But
Sure.
a few words there that I missed. Okay,
Yeah.
but I get the concept.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you better understand what you're talking about because you really lose that opportunity. It's almost like you're a comedian. You do your stand-up, right? You bomb. That was your opportunity to make 40 new fans. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Don't blow it.
But also, I wouldn't ever learn unless I bombed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not all the time. Like, that's obviously, you want the scale to be in your favor on not bombing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you never bomb, then you never learn. You just think that everything you do is funny, and that's not true either. Do you know what I mean? You think that humbled. Everything you say is right. Yeah. You need that level. It's a Michael Jordan thing, man. It's like you have to lose to understand how you can play better.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's that yin and yang.
Yeah.
That balance.
It's really that.
You know, a good comic, if they can bomb with grace, like if they can take a good bomb and they're still like good after, they can bounce back. And it's like,
I've heard comedians say this too, actually. Yeah. They'll just own it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's really nothing to it. It's a thing that you have to learn. It's a skill that needs to be brushed up on. Same thing with all this stuff. You can't be like, how could anyone educate you if everything you said and knew was right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that doesn't even make sense in itself.
Exactly. I mean, and the funny thing is, a lot of these people that think that they're right on everything, they claim that they're open-minded, but you can't really be open-minded if you don't embody objectivity, right? You have to be totally objective.
Yeah.
You can't be too dogmatic, and that's what's really off-putting, right? You have to be willing to accept information that's, going to go contrary to what you believe in.
Yeah.
Because if you're really open-minded and seeking the truth, then you should be receptive, right?
Yeah.
It's just common sense. But you know what? They're human beings, man. People get jaded. It's human nature. So
I don't know if it's okay. Well, now we're in the the social psychology of it, right? Because is it nature? Does nature really beat us down, or is it these exterior forces that trick us into thinking that? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why shouldn't we be harmonious? Mm-hmm. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we be like, man, when has, like, even on the whole racism thing, growing up in Canada, racism is there, it exists, people are hateful, but that's also never stopped people from, like, being, we're very multicultural, and we a lot of our backbone sort of stems from that we're able to live in such harmony with all, like, Toronto especially, man. Toronto's a very big melting pot, and everybody comes here, and everybody, we're all able to mingle together. And
I think people enjoy that too, right?
For sure, man.
Toronto is, so.
For sure. And I think that is more natural than this idea of creating these fake enemies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because COVID's no different to me than racism. It's an enemy that's not real.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Never-ending war, right?
Yeah. It's
rile
this
everybody
thing.
up.
Like, look, that person is racist. But what is racist? It's this thing inside somebody that you can't see on the outside. Mm-hmm. You don't know if someone is or is not sick with racism.
That's a great way to put it. Holy cow. Yeah.
Yeah, I just figured that out.
It really is similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's been taught. It's not even like a natural born.
Again, the similarities to COVID are neck and neck. Because none of us would know what fucking COVID-19 is if you didn't see the pictures, if you didn't get the blasting on television of, this is the protein, the enzyme. No one knows this. You're not seeing into your arm on a microscopic level.
That's so funny. It's so true though, right? Because it's just a regular flu. I don't know too much about the statistics. I'm pretty sure there was a few more thousand people that died this year in Canada, but I don't think it was anything dramatic, right? So,
see, what bothers me is
it would have to be dramatic.
We bring up statistics all the time, but nobody wants to talk about the statistics. Mm-hmm. Like, they want to bring it up, but they don't want to talk about it. Nobody's going to address the fact that dipshit had the book How to Lie with Statistics.
I read that book, actually.
Did you?
And what's it about?
And they actually credit Bill Gates in it. A few pages in.
What a shocker.
Okay, so right on the top.
Talk your talk, man.
Yeah, I wish I would have brought it. I should have brought a few books.
Man, it's okay.
That would have been nice.
You read it?
Yeah.
So, man, we'll send it, download it, read it. You know what I mean? Like, this is...
Yeah,
we're not going to read it to them.
Throw a screenshot up or something, right?
Sure, mm-hmm. Sure.
But he's got there's a quote. The author puts a quote right at the top of the book, and it says, Bill Gates, a quote from Bill Gates. Oh, this is a great book for anybody that already knows statistics, and for those that need to learn how to, how to read statistics and how to judge statistics, because that's what it's about. The book's basically about how people can manipulate statistics, right? So say you got a chart and you're trying to make something look really dramatic. So say Bitcoin, okay? We'll say it should go, the charge to be, I don't know what axis it is, but 0 to 100,000.
Okay.
So let's say that it went from 40,000 to 60,000, okay? Instead of having the whole, 0 to 100,000, you're going to have the scale a lot smaller. So it looks very dramatic.
Right.
Like it went from the bottom to the top. So that's the idea of it, right? And it's funny too, because like I was saying before, a few pages in, they say that they essentially admit that, there's how should I say this? That people already know the tricks in this book, right? They already know how to manipulate they're already using all these tricks.
For your own benefit.
Basically, and this
Like
is why I wish I would
things?
have done my homework again, because it had a nice connection to Bill Gates' quote at the front, at the front of the book, on the cover, where I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? I flipped back and forth and I was like, wow. Like Bill's basically saying that, I know how to be a scammer, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I almost made a video on it. I think I'm gonna do that now, actually, when I go home.
Please do, man.
Yeah,
I really, that, you know what?
Just get the phone camera out and just go through the book and let people. Okay, it says right here.
Yeah. See, this is what. Okay, see how beautiful that is, man. This is modern day Cole's Notes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? We don't. This is the beauty of community and us coming together. And this is why you don't want people coming together. This is why it's very dangerous. Because I don't have the time to live my life and read every book and read every factual thing that's out there. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna live my life and do the things that I need to do, I don't have the time to do that stuff.
You might even have the time, but then you just.
But even if you do, man, you really don't have the time for all of it.
Yeah.
The amount that's out there, the amount that and so we need each other to be our Cole's Notes, to be able to feel. Man, you read the book. Tell me about it. Make your video. Because if you can condense it to a few good points. I mean, man, someone can then grab the book a lot easier going, holy shit, I can't believe it says this. And likewise, someone doesn't need to grab the book because they're like, holy shit, man, I get it.
Yeah, I've read the book now.
He's pointed out such pivotal things.
And then the ones that haven't, right? They might even, like you said, they might grab the book, decide to grab it. Like,
absolutely,
this is actually
man.
worth me, having my own opinion on it and really dissecting,
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how I am. So I found a few, like two really awesome guys. There's one guy named oh my god, there's Jay Dyer. Okay. And then oh my god, I'll come back to it later. Richard Grove. And these guys are super knowledgeable. Like the way that they speak and the knowledge that they're giving, they could have a university like level class on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like they're readers. Another guy is Carol Quigley. They go into like really deep stuff, but
like what kind of stuff do they?
A lot of book stuff too.
Okay.
So Jay Dyer, he has a series called the Globalist Book Series, where he'll upload different episodes on a different book written by a globalist. Somebody that supports the NWO, whether they're involved or not. So you got H.G. Wells, Julian Huxley. Oh, we'll get into him, man.
Oh,
he's nasty.
Brother of Aldous.
That's a son
of Aldous.
Oh, it's
man.
the brother. I thought it was the son because I have one of his books. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, and like it's amazing. Like that whatever Jay taught me in those videos. Like I still haven't seen it anywhere else.
Wow.
And it's legit. I've read some of the books, and I'm like, holy shit! Like it's really esoteric knowledge, right? And like it's just hidden because people don't like to read books. But like you're saying, it's great though. We got to do that for each other, man.
We do, man. But do you see? And that's also even more of a emphasis on why people would want to push such a focus on isolating people, making sure that people don't come together. Because when they do, change can happen. Change can happen very quickly. But it's not obvious. It's not. It's so hard for so many people to see because they were given this enemy. They were given this thing that doesn't exist. This excellent marketing strategy. They were sold something from a microscope. Yeah, they were sold something from a microscope. You have a bunch of stuff on the PCRs. Yeah, man. we just had a guest in that was talking about that stuff. We talked about it briefly.
The nurse, I can't wait. Well,
no, she's a musician. She's a musician. Okay. She had her master's in. She went through the schooling and she did her thesis on the PCR test.
Wow.
And so she saw the tricks right from the start. And
this is years back.
Yeah, this is years, man. And in school, you can't question it if you want to pass school, right?
This is what she's saying?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. You'll
yeah, sorry. We don't
No, that's okay. You'll hear it.
I can't wait to watch it, really. Yeah, I've been excited to watch it because, like, you know.
But it's good. It's good information from good people, man. They have no... It's a fucking artist.
Yeah.
They're not trying to sell you anything.
Yeah.
They're not trying to get... You know, that's what bugs me so much is, like, these bad people that are telling you all this shit, that are lying to you, we're giving you conspiracy theories, all this other, dumb shit that... Names you want to throw our way. We have nothing to gain.
Exactly.
The last protest we went to, I was talking to a cop. There was a cop just cycling super slow next to me. And the entire time, like, I just see him. He's got his mask on. He's got his tough guy attitude. And he's just cycling. He keeps looking over at me. And I'm like, well, I fucking talk to people, man. So why not? And I go, hey, man, I look at him. I go, hey, did you hear about this thing that Health Canada released about the masks? He had a black mask on. I go, about masks having
the
graphene. And yeah, he goes, no, I never heard of it. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, Health Canada published it, and it's like, it's on the news in Montreal. I'm like, you may want to. He's like, and he interrupts me. He cuts me off. He goes, I don't really care about any of that stuff. And then he just, like, bikes away.
Yeah.
And he did the whole, and you go, all right, man, I don't care. I don't wear one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I got nothing to lose. Like, it's not, what am I gaining in you taking your mask off? What changes in my life? I'm still not wearing one.
Yeah, and you know
Do you
what?
know what I'm saying?
I think this is the issue here, is that we all come there to fight for freedom and all that too, right? But a lot of people are concerned with the mask wearing now too, because they feel that it's part of the problem, right? As long as you wear the mask, as long as the sheep keep wearing it,
sure,
and they don't join us, the freedom fighters, the conspiracy theorists,
people,
yeah, it's always gonna go on forever. So it's like weird. You gotta have that balance, and sometimes some of us are really frustrated too, right? But you want to tell them sometimes, hey.
Yeah. I think it's always fair to, like, give them the information, but it's still people's choice whether they want to wear it or not. And I think it's fair if people want to wear it. No,
I disagree. I'm taking that stance. I'm gonna dig my heels in, because that attitude is where it gets us worse. The constant going. I think the constant going, like, well, it's your choice, but it's not their choice. The choice only exists because somebody put it there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's Coke and Pepsi.
It only has power so long as you give it power, right? It's like gold. If people just decide tomorrow that gold is worth nothing, then it's worth nothing.
Yeah, but gold has a purpose. So do masks, and masks in there. But nobody's argued that. I'm not getting mad at the construction worker wearing a mask when he's installing insulation.
Yeah, me neither.
You're breathing fiberglass. That's the part of the job. I get it.
Yeah.
But I've done that job too, and you go, I don't want to wear this all day. I know it's worse for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm doing it for the safety of me because I'm in a dangerous situation. I'm in a place where there's asbestos.
And you have the right, you're saying.
But that was never...
But that's separate, I guess.
That was never in question.
Okay.
No one ever questioned that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's not... Man, I said this before, and like, it just falls on dead ears. But do you remember the very same people that are telling you to put a mask on were the same people saying how horribly misogynistic it was and stupid it was for women to cover their face for religious reasons?
Yeah. It's even abortion too, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
My body, my choice. And that just went out the window.
Do you see, like, those kind of contradictions?
That's a good one to add on to that. Sorry, yeah.
No, but those sort of contradictions, man, it's like, we really need to address this. We really need to be able to look at that and laugh. I laugh about it.
Yeah.
I'm able to laugh about fucking abortion and people dying. That's what I do, so I can laugh at it. But if we're not even going to have the conversation, man, what are we doing? Exactly. You're just like yelling at people to do this stuff, and you go,
well, this goes down to the psychology, man.
So what do we? How do we re-brainwash them then? Like, you know what I mean? How do you go up against the ad companies?
You got to be exactly like them.
For sure, I agree, man. So what do we do? What do we have to do? Get billboards out?
It's kind of messed up, man. But these guys, the books that I've been reading, Edward Bernays, he opened up the first public relations firm in America. But he's a pioneer. He's crazy. He tricked women into smoking cigarettes. He tricked kids into using soap because they didn't like using Dove soap. So long story short, he I guess whatever store was carrying it, he got them to do a contest with sculptures, make a soap sculpture, because and this goes down to those there's like 4 tendencies he says that humans have. It's weird stuff, man. This goes into Sigmund Freud. His uncle is Sigmund Freud.
Oh, wow.
I should probably add that in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the tendency of play, So he's like, I'm going to appeal to children because they like to play.
Right.
So trick them into making these sculptures, and then eventually they're going to love the soap. What else, man? Fluoride in your water. Shit. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
He figured out the way to get it in the water and sell it to people?
Okay, so Alcoa, the American aluminum company, had contacted them. I guess they're figuring that, hey, it's really expensive for us to get rid of our fluoride. However often they do it, it is expensive. It's industrial waste, right? Right?
Really?
From the aluminum company, Company of America or whatever, right?
So how do we get rid of this stuff the best way?
What do you mean?
That's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
The same reason you make Jell-O out of bones.
They contact Bernays, and I know he did this with the bacon, but I'm pretty sure bacon and eggs. He was the one that started the All-American breakfast.
Oh,
okay.
Getting you in bright and early, start of your day.
You need the energy.
The complete balanced breakfast.
Man, yo,
orange juice,
the whole thing was, overnight, you sleep, you don't eat for 8 hours, you run out of energy, you need energy to start your day, you're like a car. Wow. Okay, what does he do? He sends 4,000 doctors, a loaded question. Yeah, he gets his doctor, he has a doctor that works with him in his public relations firm, gets him to send it out to a bunch of doctors that he knows. And of course, it's a loaded question. They're going to say, of course, you need energy, eat more food. So I don't know if he did that with the... with the fluoride, right? But I know that he was using some kind of medical. I don't know exactly how he did
probably
it. But
with the teeth. Like,
yes,
you need this to keep your teeth, clean.
Yeah.
I was just at the dentist, and they were.
That's how that started.
Yeah,
with him doing that,
that's
he got
crazy.
that idea. But sorry, continue with the dentist.
No, it's all good. It's not a long story, but it was just like. I was like, yeah, I don't use fluoride in my toothpaste, because they were like, do you want a fluoride rinse? And I was just like, I don't think so. Like, I don't even use it in my toothpaste. And they're like, oh, you're one of those, like, and fluoride,
really?
anti-fluoride. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I didn't go in with a mask either, so I'm probably like flagged on my account there. But yeah, but it's just interesting because they're like, no, it's really good for you. Like, you should use it. And
so
I'm
there
like,
was some dialogue there. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So how did that end up then? Were they?
Well, they didn't push. Like, I don't have insurance, right? So I have to pay for it. So they have to have my permission to use it. So I just, said no. But
yeah,
and they charge you for it too, huh?
Yeah.
I know, rats, right?
You gotta pay to get yourself
get rid
poisoned.
of their waste.
That's such a funny double. Imagine paying to get yourself poisoned.
It's
one thing
ridiculous.
if you're giving it out. I get it.
Do it with cigarettes. It's horrible.
Yeah, like everyone's
so
got
stupid,
something,
like,
right?
But I even believe cigarettes have more. I think they have more spiritual value than fluoride does. I do, man.
So.
I think they stem from the tobacco plant is an important plant. It stems. It used to, a pipe, man, and you do a tobacco pipe, and you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's tradition.
You got to go OG though, but we'll say that we'll allow that for cigarettes.
It's. But no, man, see, even with fluoride, what bugged me too is I've been on this tear for a while, man. That. Even in Ontario, so we live in a place, I go from city to city, and there's places that are less than an hour away, maybe just over an hour from the city. No fluoride in the water. They have protected, clean water. They make a point not to fluoridate their water.
Wow.
And then you have one town over that is dumping bags of fluoride into the water that you pull out of your tap, and there's more than enough people that tell you that shit decalcifies your fucking pineal gland.
Or
calcifies it. That's right.
So like the science behind it, I had one guy that was telling me he's very, very woke. Like, this was before Corona, and I was like just shocked at all the information he knew. We started getting into Epstein. That's how I really started to realize things were really organized. But but he's a big proponent of taking iodine. So essentially, the molecular structure of iodine is really similar to fluoride, Or fluoride is similar to iodine. Sorry, your body needs the iodine. Your pineal gland pulls iodine, and it takes it, right? So when you don't have that and you're replacing it with fluoride, it's mistaking it for it.
Shit.
Yeah, it's crazy,
It's almost like
man.
the aspartame of
Yo.
Yeah.
And I've heard my older sister as a kid always say aspartame because, you know, she's a dental hygienist. But I never, like, I'm just getting into that too. But maybe there's stuff you could tell me about that too. Like,
I mean, man, we're giving you alkaline water. That's
sweet.
I refuse
it tastes
to.
good too.
Yeah.
It's got a little flavor. Like, yeah.
It's clean. You know what's weird about it? It doesn't give me pasties. If I do regular bottled water, which just so happens to have somewhere between 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, if it's really fluoride, it tells you right on the bottle. There's some places man, take a look. It says F, like that's the molecular structure, right?
FL.
It says F. Sometimes it'll say FL.
Okay.
And then it'll just say a number. The good ones say 0.0.
And it's
There's some,
ppm,
man.
parts per million.
Yes, parts per million.
Oh
so
my
there's an
gosh.
actual measurement to it. And they do it. Some of the, man, not even to scare you, because even some of the natural spring water has it in it. Because apparently it's in the ground and it.
I hate, but like, I'll be honest, I love tap water.
I get it.
I shouldn't drink it, but
no.
I'd rather that over bottled water, man. Hell no. I'm not drinking those plastics, but
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it.
you got
I get it.
estrogen. Yo,
Yeah.
from birth control, they can't get rid of that, man. They can't
Yeah.
get rid of the drugs. You're not going to come up positive for cocaine if there's cocaine in your, it's very trace, but
Yeah.
you're ingesting this stuff. And
I heard antidepressants too, man. A lot of antidepressants. People flush it down the toilet and then
It's crazy.
dissolves.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
I refuse to not have water that goes through some sort of filtration.
I'm not saying the water's totally dirty.
I am. I'm telling
It
you, it's
is.
disgusting.
It is.
I'm telling
it's
you,
just
city
weird though,
water
because
is
how can it
disgusting.
be so disgusting that we're not getting sick? Like, you know what I mean? But whatever they're doing to treat it is just to mask it.
Do you know what it is
Yeah.
though, man?
That's it.
But think about it this way. It's not even we are getting sick.
Yeah.
But we're also discrediting our bodies.
We just haven't focused any
Yeah.
studies on it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
don't want those studies getting out.
And
you
we're just
would
like-
want
That's crazy.
to suppress that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
And
tell
we're just like
people that.
slowly declining as a species, in all types of ways. Like I was just watching this video with this doctor, and we talked about it on the last podcast a little bit. Dr. Zach Bush, but he basically saying how like our soil is dead, and it's dead because of pesticides. Because we like at one point in the early 20s or something, we over farmed, and then we just instead of like letting our soil rest, we just pumped it with pesticides, and so now pesticides is in our water, and then it gets sucked up into the air and rains down back on us. So there's like, and we're getting sprayed with aluminum and whatever the fuck else in the sky. So it's like
Synthetic world, man.
But
It's crazy.
The body is powerful enough to heal. This is where we get into some tricky territory,
you think
man,
the
because
earth is powerful enough to heal then too? Then
all of it,
Oh, yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
man. We're nothing. I think it's such an ego thing to think that humans are something that can ruin the earth. That's a total
Okay, I
ego
guess-
thing,
okay,
bro.
okay.
Because think about how powerful the earth is.
I know, right?
How like whatever sort of idea you want to subscribe to outside of this world, we're still not shit in any point of it compared to the motherland, the native land. Do you know what I mean? When this thing wants, like, it just seems like it keeps trying to give us chances because it really likes us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're better than the dinosaurs. It likes what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
You know, we want to get to floating cars, and it wants to see that happen.
Yeah.
But at any point,
Imagine
man, at any point,
It's little Mother Earth hiding waiting.
I think so, man. And she's just making sure, What if she's not little? What if we're just like a scab on her ass?
Oh my
Do you know
Oh,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like she's so giant,
Like
and we're
lice
just
in
this.
her.
But
I've always wondered something like that. Too,
man, one tidal wave, and the whole thing's done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
if we don't let her
one big
rest, she'll make
snowstorm.
sure like she gets
it's-
a rest.
And it's not the first time. There have been civilizations wiped out. So it seems like they give us chances.
Yeah.
But we have to do something about it. I think we have to make these changes to I guess inform people, man. Because you're right. If you don't know what's in your tap water, how the fuck are you gonna know?
Yeah.
You're not gonna know. You don't, and everything that tells you just goes okay. Detroit's had brown water for years now, and they try to band-aid with bottled water. They say,
you see Obama, what he did?
Yeah, he comes out and he
really
sips
bad,
it.
Man.
What'd he do?
He took
Shows
a
up to
glass
Flint.
and yeah.
He goes to a school and he's like, hey, you know, the situation seemed really dire. It's about time I came here to show my face and show that I care. And he goes, oh guys, I'm not even trying to be too funny here, but I'm just thirsty. Can you guys get me a glass of water? Everyone's like, okay. Brings the water out. Just like this. Doesn't even sip it. Touches to the lips.
Shut
See,
up.
it's not so bad, guys. Okay,
Are you fucking kidding
I'll
me?
even do another one, and then he does a little lip touch again with the water. Yeah,
I know.
yeah. People
What?
are that's so disrespectful.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of black
it's-
people there to his own people that support
Jesus.
him.
I mean,
That's
they don't
sick.
care, man.
That's sick.
It's tricky when you get
But-
to those levels. You're talking about a lot of money. People will do a lot for a lot of money.
And this is
People
the
will
issue.
do a lot for a little money.
And this is what I'm saying, like about the human nature issue, right? It's like, you know, we sound grassroots. We sound like we truly want a genuine, like, non-profit. You know, we have nothing to gain except for, you know, everybody to gain. You know,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not
Yes.
just us gaining.
Yeah.
We want everyone. Then we gain.
Yeah,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Our freedom means freedom for all. you
Yeah.
know?
And you know what? You might have some people at the start, you know, at the start of their whatever, you know, people that are philanthropists even, you know, obviously not Bill Gates and those types. We know what they got into it for.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't
What do
even
you-
want to say certain things right now, but
Say it.
certain shills, let's say, in certain
Sure.
movements, right? Maybe they came in grassroots with good intentions, but they get formed into somebody that's consumed by the crowd.
I think all
Yeah.
things are like
You know?
that, though.
Yeah.
I think that's every religion, right? Every religion at its core is pretty much as pure as can be. And then along the lines, other people get involved. Other people take other people's words and start changing the context and start
Seeing
you
how to
know,
manipulate things.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
taking the
that's
swastika. Like
sure, exactly.
that was like supposed to be peace, but like nobody can ever, you know,
Yeah.
you done that now. It's Nazi,
Yeah.
man. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. You totally changed
know.
the whole meaning of
but
it.
there's still
Yeah.
Buddhists. There's still strong Buddhist Nazis.
And they rock those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Because
they're
technically-
Buddhist Nazis now. Yes.
Technically, I think they flipped it too, right? So it was like it's.
Yeah, I
They
think
took it,
went-
and whichever direction it was pointing, they flipped it to the other
Yeah,
one.
So how? Okay, I'm not even.
Do you know what I mean?
gonna
Yeah, don't air sign it.
draw it. God damn.
So let me ask you this, man. Have you found over the last year, like, is that when you got heavy into the Instagram stuff and really started like shit posting?
If you look at my old stuff, I probably got a maybe about 30 to 40 stuff, like awake stuff, you know, conspiracy stuff, if you want to call it that. That probably started maybe in September, where I actually started posting it on my page. But if you look below that, I was on Instagram like once a year posting a picture, man. I was
Right.
I was not into social media like
You weren't
that.
even using it, or you were still using it, just not the
Just for the
flex.
bullshit, you know, go
Yeah,
on
yeah.
DJ Academics page and,
Okay.
you know, shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
But it was
Uh,
never to socialize and build my own, like, I don't want to say I have a community, because no way, but I have people that are coming to watch my stuff all the time. Same
Yeah.
people, right? So,
Yeah, I
You
mean, see, because I really do appreciate that. I feel like I don't have that in me to do. I don't have the patience for it.
Mhm.
Like my passion is live and direct.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how I like to get my messages out and get my ideas to formulate. So for me, the online world, no, that's all right, man. For me, the online world was always, I didn't like it, man. And so I'm really appreciative for dudes like you and the dudes that can really like shit post and troll correctly and really, because man, it's like what we said earlier. The only way to fight some of this stuff is with their own tactics, and so it's like, well, then people just, so these guys shit post bullshit, propaganda and marketing. We got to do the same with trolling and with, you know,
100%.
just
And
those
memes,
laughs.
memes
and
are very
jokes.
powerful
Absolutely,
too.
man.
Memes are
Absolutely.
like, you know, speaking in terms of you know, somebody that, this might sound unethical, but as a propagandist, man, that'll really get your message, whether it's good or bad, you know. A meme will do it because it's so simple and it plants the seed and makes people think.
I know. I'm
You know?
no good at memes,
True.
man. I'm no good.
But you're right though, man. You know, the media is not sleeping. They're
Yeah.
working 24/7,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Right.
So we got to make sure we work double time.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have this rapport, not just the reach and the audience that they have, the mainstream, you know, aspect
Yeah.
to it, broadcasting, but there's a rapport to it, man. You know, they're an established business, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the CTV ads all over the city. They say experience, trust, and something else. Like literally just 3 things that you go, the media doesn't do that.
Lies.
Yeah, and then you go, and they're really selling it, and you go, man, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where you go,
it is brilliant.
You really just pitch the reverse.
Like,
and you go, this is what it is. It's such a beautiful,
right? Like, even though it's so lame to me, because as somebody, that has the right information, I can see through it. It's just kind of lame, right? But looking at it from the aspect of like they can control so many people, it's very impressive.
I'm so appreciative of it, man.
Yeah.
I really do look at it as that, like, that's where I'm able to laugh at it. Otherwise, I would scream and pull my hair out. You know? I can't.
You gotta have that stance, right?
I want to know, what was the thing that like made you, because have you always been this kind of like open kind of thinking, kind of questioning stuff? You've always done that?
Yeah, I've been I think depression was a big thing. Like, when you get depressed, man, it just makes you really reflect on yourself. I think mushrooms as well, acid, I've done drugs, guys.
Terrible.
Yeah, shock.
But I think it's just you got to be really reflective, and that's how I've always been, though. I'd say, man, I always like to ask questions. I think it's certain types of people, right? There's people, okay, like I said, I was saying this earlier, that mostly people that are the most indoctrinated, they're the ones in school for the longest time, right? Longer than, okay, so you find that people like me, I wasn't too good in high school. I passed high school. I'm a college dropout. But people that don't work with that, in that system, that are usually the class clowns, spend most of their time in the hallway. Those are the types of people, I think, that aren't going to be receptive to authority.
Right.
So if you're a little good little boy, good little girl in school, you're used to following the rules. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, right? It's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's just different kinds of people.
It's true. It's like you've been in the indoctrination camps longer.
Yeah.
It's like and you're used to following the rules. You're used to like getting up for the bell and going for lunch at this time. And
exactly.
doing all that shit.
I was always just somebody that liked to question authority. So, and I always like to have deep conversations. I don't know what it was, man. Like I said, maybe it was depression. I just, you just have to understand that you're nothing, man. There's so much other shit going on in this world. Like, I don't know how many times, like, how often do people actually think about people in poverty? I don't know.
Never.
Sometimes I just get bummed out because I'm like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, child trafficking and stuff. Imagine with these kids. You know what I mean? Like, you have to humble yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are too busy. Like, I used to always do this, even in high school, man. Like, this is years ago. Sitting on the bus, man. Yeah, just thinking, I'm alive. Holy cow. Like, you know what I mean? Just being very aware.
Wow.
But yeah, I just kind of always been like that, I guess. So
okay, so when you made the decision, let's assume we're talking to a bunch of people. Let's assume live performance doesn't exist in the future. I'm just an old fart from an ancient time, and now it's just people, and the only way to get that laugh out and to get that humor into this world is through social media, man. If that just continues to be the trend and that's our only escape.
Yeah.
What have you noticed? Have you noticed like a big drop in like the people that you knew before? Have you noticed like a sort of departure from
Yeah, so I'm happy you actually brought that up. That's a great question, man. So that's the reason why my Instagram's so important to me. You have Facebook, where you know a lot of personal people. But Facebook, I don't know. I'm against Facebook, man.
I've been trying to burn my account down for the last like year and a bit. I basically been off it, but I always kept it because I needed to talk to people for shows.
And that's the issue, yeah.
Right? That was
but
the
I don't like
sword.
using it.
No, and I didn't.
It's just Facebook.
I didn't.
God.
But then since this year, since I became trapped and they
it's a boomer
forced
thing.
us, yeah. I've been
Facebook.
trying to lose as many friends as possible. Like
Okay.
I've been trying to
Really?
piss people
and
off.
filter them out.
Yeah, and not from having a different opinion, but just from like man, because I don't want these
being
people...
open-minded. You can disagree, but be open-minded.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I want people that
There's people
I
that
actually
disagree
have...
with me that watch my stuff all the time.
For sure.
I have globalist, socialist friends too, right?
Yeah.
And they're, funny enough, they've been the most indoctrinated. They've all been in university, you know, for years, you know, 4 or 5 years, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's good though. You got to filter them out too.
Yeah, see, I've made that attempt, but then I also noticed, man, from that psychological aspect, because I'm trying to do it from a place, because I know the cheat codes. Say something racist, say something derogatory, and you'll instantly get banned and lose friends. And so I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play within the context of their stupid community guidelines.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're telling me that you can't say this and you can't say that, and if you say this, your things get flagged, then I go, okay, I'll take that challenge. And I'm going to try to piss people off by doing things within that limit.
Yeah, try to beat the algorithm a little bit, right?
Yes, I'm trying to play with it, man. But what I've noticed is that there's so many eyes that see, because I've had so many conversations on things I've posted that nobody's like, they don't show up on, you don't know that they liked your shit because they don't want to be acknowledged for liking it.
Yeah.
Like I've spoken to people where they're like, man, that stuff you said is really powerful, and I'm like, but you didn't like it. And he goes, yeah, you know, I can't, if they see my name, then
it's an endorsement, right?
That's fine, man. Yeah. That's fine. But it's interesting to see that. And I noticed that the other thing is people like to watch the drama. It's just like more bullshit reality television. They like to see the crazy person kind of like, so they have someone to laugh at.
That's what I've been wondering.
Do you know what I mean?
Some of the people that watch me all the time, just like, you know, it's just entertainment at this point. What stupid thing is he gonna say today, right? But it's about how you do it too, right?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You
got to cover all your bases. You don't go into, a lawyer doesn't go into court, you know, unprepared. You know, so you just got to think about what people are gonna say and what you can say back. You know.
Yeah.
And
is that how you do it? Are you having like an internal dialogue, trying to be like?
Of course, man. I think I'm just really good at empathizing with people and putting myself in people's shoes. Like I love to, I don't know. I find I'm that kind of guy where somebody comes to me and they have a problem with somebody. It's like, okay, no, maybe they meant it like this, like, you know, and then. It just really makes people think, like, you know?
Yeah.
So I just always
try to
good
mediate.
At that. Yeah. And just try to, it's all about communication, man.
What an absurd concept.
What's
that? Wanting to help people and mediate and just make good of a situation. What an absurd thing. That
it's it should be illegal, man. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Have you had people confront you for it? Like, have you had to deal with that? Have you had to deal with family going like, hey man,
what's your family like?
You're too much.
So my family at first, they didn't want me to go to the protest. They went too crazy on it. They just say, don't go. And I go, and it's like, okay, fine, you're gonna go. You know, but it's just nobody's really attacked me.
Okay.
You know,
that's good, man.
In terms of my family, I've had people, you know, in my family that I've had disagreements with. Like my mom, she's totally CNN brainwashed.
Yeah.
All day, man. You know, and she doesn't want to hear it too. Like she's just like, I don't believe it. Like, you know, like I'm hearing this from the news, but. You know, in terms of, I guess, you know, having a confrontation, I had one friend. I worked with him for summer doing landscaping. And he messaged me. He's like, yo, man, he was totally on Bill Gates' dick, dude. Holy shit. He's like, he's a good man. Literally, because he's a good man and he wants to save humanity. This is the stuff he's saying. I was like, brother, like, and I'm just trying to, and this is me, like, really getting to the start of it. Like this is like March, April. So I'm just really learning about Bill Gates. So everything I know is just hearsay. I haven't been able to build the arguments like a lawyer would, like I said, to cover my bases, right? But I'm sending him questionable stuff. You know, what do you think about? And he's just defending. But anyways,
but see, that's such a projection, man. This whole thing, like when you see people get mad and the shit that they're yelling about, the shit that you're doing, like people yell at you for not wearing a mask. And you're dangerous to everybody, but it's like you look at them and you're like, well, you're not healthy. And this is about health.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you see
I'll kill you.
You see the clear, you see the projection, But even see, it's heartbreaking when you have a friend like that, because even he's projecting, and it's beautiful. His projection is something so it's a heavenly projection where you're going like, no, he is this great man trying to help humanity, because that's how he feels, and that's what he wants to see in the world.
Exactly.
Right? It's a beautiful projection. But it's still totally fucked up and
that's
wrong.
awesome too, because that's what I said too. I want to make a video too, like, and put it on my page. I just want to have really condensed videos where I just make people think, but under 2 minutes, just and say, and I guess the subject would be what would make somebody a conspiracy theorist, and what would make somebody a doubter of those things, to judge. Yes. I gotta simplify that, of course, right, when I want to make the video, but just the point that if you need a criminal mind, for one, you need to think a little bit like a criminal. If you're not a little skeptical sometimes when somebody offers you a nice deal or something on something, and you say, what's the catch? What do they have to benefit? You know what I mean? Yes. You gotta have that little
all the bribes,
skeptical, and as much as I want to see good in the world, you still can't have too much of that, because you just see everything as positive.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you need the balance.
You got to be able to be willing to see that there's people out there, and even look at the history. The history shows
exactly.
No, I know, man. I get that.
People
I see
don't
a lot
always
of people
have good intentions, and we have to realize the humanity of people are still there, and the evil does exist, because we think we're so
people get
progressive.
jaded.
Yeah, and they forget. It's
or they get too positive.
You know what?
It's not even the jade. Sometimes they're just too happy, too oblivious to everything. You know what I mean? They're like, life is so great, which in their case it may be.
Okay, in terms of the everyday person, yes.
Yeah, because those people that walk around and it's always smile, and you're like, that's also dangerous too, because life's not all smiles.
Yeah,
we have to be able to, like you said, just be able to see those darker sides.
Yeah,
to be able to really appreciate our lives, and to be able to even put on a happy face. But
it's almost like acting, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You just smile when you don't want to, right? And that's what it seems to be with this whole COVID thing. Like you were saying, projecting the masks, right?
Yeah.
It's
actors in a game.
Yeah, it's just I saw one guy, he made a video on this. It was on BitChute. He's talking about how it's like a magic show, You got the magician in the middle, and somebody can see it, and eventually everybody can see it, but you all just play along, right?
Right.
Because you don't want to be that one guy to say, hey,
Yeah.
You don't want to be a party pooper, I guess, right? So.
Yeah, I said that the last time too, where I feel like Chicken Little sometimes. You're telling people the sky is falling. Yeah. And they're like, sky's not falling. And you're like, all right, I'm out of here, but sky's falling. And it feels like that sometimes. It really does. It feels like I don't want to be that either. I don't want to be the sky's falling. I do want to be positive, but it's also hard to
not do anything.
It's hard to navigate through that. My life's pretty nice. I'm very thankful and grateful for it, right? The last year, I'm the horrible person that's causing everybody to die in the city, right?
How many grandmas have you killed by now?
So many, man.
Grandma count.
Shit.
My.
Can we get a counter up on the pod?
Yeah, we're gonna have a daily death counter of how many people I'm responsible for killing, because I walk around with a entire face.
Smile. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something, man. It's made me so conscious too of even how to walk with a regular face. I hear people always saying mouth breather. Now I'm beyond hyper conscious.
What?
How people with masked people refer to the unmasked as mouth breathers.
Not to you personally before.
No. This is online.
Was he walking on the subway?
This is purely online observation.
That is so weird.
That's
weird.
Because they've taken a beating. The masked people, I would say, over the last year. I've noticed I haven't roasted a single person wearing a mask.
Okay.
My word.
That's what you're saying,
I haven't attacked one single person in the last year. Man, before that, I can't say anything. I've said a lot of things to a lot of people. I've attacked a lot of people. I've poked fun at a lot of people.
Yeah.
But since this whole thing started, I haven't made fun of one person with a mask on. That's a lie. I cracked jokes with one buddy of mine that had a mask on, so fine, I'll take that.
Okay.
Other than that, I've kept it to just observing. But they've taken a beating, man. They've been called all kinds of things. They've been called sheep. They've been called a lot of names.
Oh man.
I mean, again, as someone who does that as a profession, I appreciate it. I think it's funny. It's funny reading all those names. I've never used a single one of them.
Yeah.
But the one rebuttal I see is that they call the non-mask wearers mouth breathers. And I know this, so it's made me hyper conscious that every time I walk outside, I make sure that I'm like, my jaw is shut, my lips are sealed, and I'm breathing solely through my nose. And to be honest, I've never had better breathing than the last year. I've been breathing incredible. It's a big difference just breathing through your nose.
You know what it is? There's more fresh air for you to have, bro.
Maybe that's what it is too, man. Maybe I feel it. I definitely feel like an oxygen boost. Yeah. I feel like I'm blood doping just breathing.
Blood doping.
It's amazing, man.
Don't kill me, man. That's hilarious, though. But you know what, though? This goes into the whole psychology aspect of it, man. You got to stereotype people, right?
Ooh, dangerous.
And with stereotypes,
That's
there's a
dangerous.
psychology behind it because it entails so much. So, you know, we're really pro-freedom, pro-autonomy. But if you water that down by calling us anti-mask, anytime you want to bring up the anti-maskers, nobody's ever going to think anything good about it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And
Anti-anything is never good.
Yeah, but exactly, and that's, I guess, the stereotype. That is a stereotype.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're putting somebody in a box now,
In
right?
a box. Yeah, you're this, you're labeling. And we just love doing that right now. It's like, how many labels can I put on non-biased? You know,
It's funny that
all
the opposite
It's the
labels,
left.
the
Yeah,
opposite
it's
labels
left.
don't exist. There is no anti-happy people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's nobody that goes, you're anti-happy.
You're just depressed.
Yeah, you have another thing for it, but you can be like, oh, we're anti-mad. Mad is bad. So you know, you go. So you instantly go, well, we can be anti that, anti-hate.
Or just switch it up to pro.
You go, how are you? You're anti-hate.
Exactly.
And you go,
and that's
well,
what it is, right?
that's
like
fucked up,
that's
too.
the idea. When you want to, they put it as anti-mask instead of pro-autonomy.
Yeah.
Once you throw an anti on there, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You really put a bad connotation to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like these guys they're for hate. They're not trying to gain anything.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
gain freedom.
Yeah.
They're against us. They're against.
It's
And
word
it's like, no,
selection.
we're pro natural state. We're pro. Like, I have made a post about this, pro-choice, where it's like we just want the choice, man. Like our choices are being taken away from us, and we just want them. Like,
It's
man,
bullshit.
it's crazy, and how it just like how everything was taken for granted. The smallest choice to breathe air. Like now you're made to seem like a criminal. Like you are responsible for like my death or my health.
It's all about socializing people, man.
Yeah.
They want to socialize people, and it's working, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because now we're seeing what's happening. Mouth breathers, like people are being socialized, and
But you're right. I think that the tone and the word usage is also very, you know, the anti-fascist people are being fascist.
Oh, even
Do you
Hitler
know?
had certain words that he knew
Yeah.
that can speak to people.
That was
But-
1984, man. The double speak.
Yeah,
You know, you're legit. You're
I read
legit
that 3
saying
weeks
something.
ago too.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Welcome
For the first
to
time,
the
and it's incredible. But yeah, the double speak, man, it's crazy. And like,
That's what
you know,
it is.
Trudeau and all the liberals do that, man. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
man-
and they'll put out feelers too. They'll be like, "Oh, we're not going to do the vaccine passports," and then it just goes to
Yes.
another thing. Hey, it's looking like it could be a possibility, and then it's like, "Nah, these are for sure." Like, and they see the people's reaction, like how
It's
intense.
gradualism, right?
Yeah.
And this is it's crazy. There's if you want to get into socialism just quickly too, this is really interesting. There's something called the Fabian Society. And essentially Karl Marx wrote his manifesto, the Communist Manifesto. Him and all his believers were waiting for revolution in England. Never happened. So the Fabian Socialists, and this is what I think they're not Fabian Socialists, but they are at heart. All these guys at the top that are controlling us. But essentially, their coat of arms, the Fabian Socialists decided that we're going to use gradualism. We're going to gradually get everybody into socialism, you know? You can't be too radical. You can't bring it up to, you know, you can't offer them radical change right away. They won't accept it. So their coat of arms is what is it? I think it's a turtle. No, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's their banner, and then their coat of arms is the turtle, the tortoise.
That's crazy.
So and the wolf in sheep's clothing, right?
Yes.
That's really messed up, man.
That's messed up.
Yeah. So we're gonna offer you the nice carrot and smack you with the stick after.
Yes, exactly. As soon as we get you in our cage or in whatever we want, and then it's like, well, yeah, this is us actually, and this is what we're fucking trying to get done here.
Yeah,
and a lot of people unfortunately won't realize it until that point.
Exactly. Yeah, it's weird how that works, man.
Yeah,
it's just it's like a big jump in time, right? You know, say for example, we're in labor camps 5 years from now. People are going to be like, holy shit, I never saw this coming within the past 5 years. But the past, from now, last year up until, that was where they gradually did everything. But then you look at, okay, let me think about before Corona, it's totally different.
I'm yes and no. I know homies that that are on the inside. They're working in the slave camps known as Amazon facilities. And
What you're trying to figure out if you should say anything? Or?
I mean, man, what do you even fucking say where you go? It's he's shown me the what difference does it make where the cages are? But you're surrounded by cages. Do you know what I mean? You're working in this concrete factory with no windows.
I did it.
So did I, man. I did factory work too, but Amazon is also just next level.
I did Amazon.
Oh, did you?
And I'm a hard worker. I had to run. I'm a hard worker, bro.
What was it like? Yeah, tell me.
So you saw it too.
I was running back and forth. This was Christmas time returns, so a little January. So it was a flood, man, because so much stuff coming back. I was just running though down the aisles. They had essentially different little booths. You would just stand up. You were standing up too, recaching the items and finding them. And they had probably 20, 30 people lined up like that, in their own little things with the computers.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I had to run back and forth to collect their totes. And I was running, man.
Oh my god!
Running.
Like
You're
your whole
shit. To run in a factory, like
no.
For goddamn minimum wage, bro. Bathroom breaks.
You couldn't do it.
Really?
They're timing you.
Stop.
See, that's criminal, man. Do you know something?
Yeah.
When I worked in a factory, I took extended bathroom breaks.
Oh shit.
To the point where I would nap. I would take naps in the bathroom. Like I would legit go sit on the can.
See,
pants up.
Bill Gates addressed guys like you, eh?
I was a problem.
He's developing a robot PPM bladder just for guys like you.
PPM bladder. What does that mean?
A robot PPM bladder.
Oh, so how much you actually?
Yeah.
What?
I'm joking.
I never know, man.
Fucking bladder bag.
I didn't tell a lot of people about it.
We can't make them robots yet, but we'll just make sure they don't have to pee at boo.
Yeah, for real. I heard there's even software people are developing for like Skype or like whatever the fuck people are using, Zoom.
Yeah.
So that
spyware.
Spyware, so that employers watch their employees all day, your whole shift on your camera, and they time how long it takes you to use the washroom. How long
keystrokes. They can see your keystrokes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. It's weird.
That's I
but
think
they take a picture
code.
of you every 5 seconds too.
Yeah.
And it's almost so frequent they can make a video of you. It's just different, you're missing the frames in between,
Yeah. And it's brilliant because now your own home is your own little prison cell, and they don't even need to build anything or put you anywhere else. It's like
true.
Stay in and we'll watch you.
But that's what I mean, man. The cages are still they're here and right now. History's going to write itself in 50 years, right? Because history never exists in the moment. History's about that time,
reflecting and
right?
comparing.
Yeah. So what's the difference, man? How much sunlight did you see during the Christmas holidays?
None.
Like real talk. How did they have any windows? Did you get windows at any point in your shift?
No, man. There's no windows at all. It's just a huge.
It's a factory. Yeah, it's a huge slab of concrete. Yeah.
Like the conspiracies about them emptying out Walmarts and wanting to make those counts, but that's essentially what it feels like, right? Yeah. And dude, you're about 5 minutes from like the door. There's no windows at all, man.
Yeah.
And you're 5 minutes from the they have like a full out security thing. You got to get scanned
to make sure you're not stealing any of the product.
But you're like so far from the door, you're way in there, man. Like, you know what I mean? Guys came in with guns and said, okay, Amazon's the government. Now you're stuck here. You can't get out.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
One door in and out.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Amazon is the government. I mean, the U.S. government at least, because
I mean, we buy it.
it's fascism now. That's what we live in, man. You know, and it's just
as the illusion of choice.
The illusion of choice too, but then like company involvement is very validated in terms of their collaboration with government is really validated because they have the logistics, you know. They have all the resources to get certain stuff, and it's just tough because like, you know, how do you work with, you know, and then you got lobbyists.
You mean like the way that IBM did the computers during the Holocaust?
Oh man, their
Isn't
little manifesto or Rolodex, yeah.
I mean, they had to. They were making the tech, you know?
And something about, I wish I knew this specifically, but this is worth looking up. I know this is true. I'm just not sure on the information. But if you look up Melinda Gates, Bill Gates' ex-wife now. Yeah.
I want to know what happened.
Look up her. I know, right? I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's weird. I don't know
think it's a tax scam.
Yeah,
I think for sure, or shell companies or something. I really do. I really think he's going to like, because now they're going to figure out how to divide everything. She might get 5 companies.
She's already gotten 1.8 billion.
Yeah.
I just saw that this morning.
Rack it up.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And then she'll get some of the companies because they did a lot of companies together. So once the companies get divided, I could see how there could be a potential where you can.
I see what you're saying. You separate the names now with shell companies. It should be easier.
Yeah, because that's what they always do. You showed that. You showed me that with one of your fucking old 90s videos from Pfizer. Getting caught on that. Do you
watched the whole video?
I did. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I do,
Good.
man. I really take in I try to take in a lot. I'm very intrigued by especially the historical past, the things that we've played on television. People have been exposed to this. This is interesting to me.
You saw how OG that was too. I was
yeah,
like,
I did, man. That's so they
must have been 90s. Or something like.
They've been doing this, man. This is not a new game that's being played. This is not a new tactic.
And I was saying this on Instagram yesterday. I got a few likes for it. This is on a comment thread. Only criminals have shell companies. Only criminals, man. It's either for tax evasion or it's because you're trying to hide something.
For sure.
And you're doing something criminal and you don't want it to be connected to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
It's even crazier that they're called shell companies because 90% of the time it's an empty shell of an office.
Yeah.
It's literally what it's not even something like you go, oh, a shell company. Oh, okay, it's like a company with a different. It's like, no, there's no.
Yeah.
It's just a name on a paper and an office door.
It's a front, man.
Yeah, man. There's so many of them, and you know what? I try to make an effort to look at all of them. Like when I see the independent fact checkers on Facebook,
okay,
I take a look, man. I take 5-10 minutes to take a dive and go, hey, man, where do these guys come from? What's their whole? And they're always some random ass fucking office place that it's the same, man. It's I guarantee you, there's nobody in the building. You know, it's just weird because now we have everything. We have all their tech to use against them.
Yeah.
You use Google Earth. You can see where their offices are. It doesn't matter where you are.
Yo.
And you can kind of be like, oh, you're telling me this little place has like
that is
300
super
people
interesting,
employed?
Man. We need to start putting out PSAs then, right?
Yeah.
So like even me, like I've always like if I was in New York, bro, I would be organizing events in front of the UN building. But stuff like that, yo, put out the message, yo, guys, this is the address for this fact checker. Whoever's watching it, that's from Kentucky.
Yeah, but
I'll
tell you something for real, man. I've been in, I lived in New York for a minute, and I've seen people get snatched up on the streets there. Like from I saw it on one occasion where it was a taxi cab, a yellow taxi cab SUV, New York cab, rolled up and 3 dudes got out of it, undercover badges and shit, snatched a dude, gone.
Holy shit!
Nobody looks.
Yeah. People walk a New York pace, man. Nobody says a thing. And I saw that, man. And you go, like, you really do have to play chess carefully.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's a very real thing. And that's a big city, So
I'm pretty sure, they got ties to the Rockefellers have history there, right? So Rockefeller Center, so they got to have some kind of pull, like UN's there.
Oh
you gotta watch. You gotta watch Gangs in New York again.
Gangs in New York.
Yeah, you ever seen that? Leonardo DiCaprio and what's that dude? the There Will Be Blood guy. What's his name? Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis and Leonardo DiCaprio. Incredible movie, man. Super long. Cameron Diaz, super long. And it's all about New York from back in the day, where they show like where it was...
mob?
I mean, it wasn't the mob, but it was firefighters were setting fire on people's houses to get work. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how the city was made. And then it was beefing firefighters. Then firefighters would burn things in other firefighters' hoods.
And that's a real thing. There's a documentary about that.
That's like modern day truck drivers in Toronto.
Yeah.
To an extent,
They're
man.
bad.
Yeah. All those guys. They that's the kind of...
the cops too, like, you know,
Like
the
the
bigger
rap?
busts and stuff. Like, you want the bigger busts with the most cash, and then they would divide up the cash. And so it's like people trusting these systems like makes no sense. Like, it literally
strange,
in what time has this been like a moral fucking...
People are gonna be people, man.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And like, it's like what you were saying though. Like, I truly believe, like, there was a while, like a few years, man, just having no faith in humanity. I just felt that people were just pieces of shit. We were cancers on the earth. But
no, that's nihilism, man.
Yeah,
that's
no.
nihilism, and that's bullshit, man.
But like lately, man, I'm starting to realize with this, like, with my knowledge on the whole social engineering, man, I think people truly want peace, man.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think World War One, World War Two would even have happened without these little outside influences.
For sure, man.
You're just fighting
couldn't
other
agree
people's
more.
Yeah.
battles at this point, and just man.
Yeah.
Other people's ideas. We're taking on other people's ideas instead of chasing our own.
Yeah.
We're taught to suppress our ideas. You're into that. And okay, let's try to round it all together, man. This is why this whole idea, I always thought socialism, communism, all that stuff was good. You wanted equality. You wanted people taken care of.
Yeah, the root,
You know, like, that's what I thought. But then again, man, that danger, that's what we're doing right now, where you go, the individual doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's only about the greater good.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck about I don't care about your grandma or your but I care about the city.
So if
I
I'm
care about-
dying, essentially, you won't save me if it's gonna really take food from other people's mouth, kinda. I guess saving me doesn't serve the greater good, kind of thing. That's just an example, right?
Yeah, that's what they'll
It can
try
be
to.
bad
That's
like that.
that's what they'll try to pitch
Yeah.
us.
Let's
right?
kill all
That's-
the old people. They're just
For sure, man.
what do they call them? Something feeders.
Yeah.
Bottom feeders.
Not bottom
No.
feeders, but just like there's no
Yeah.
point in feeding them. Type
Yeah.
thing, like
Yeah, if we have a food shortage, like they're about to die, like might as well,
yeah.
Yeah, there's been big talks about euthanizing recently too, like
Yeah.
allowing euthanization because like more and more older people want to die.
Which in certain cases is
okay.
it's good, but in
again,
not in the
About
way where
assisted
it's like
suicide, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Dr.
That's a
Kevorkian
thing,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been like, but now they're trying to. I've read a
Normalize
couple
it.
articles to be
Yeah.
like, because
Mm-hmm.
they've also said that they've never seen this much depression with old people before, and because I mean, think about it, man. They're probably the biggest targets where you go. You can't visit your grandma. This is maybe the last of her days. You can't go visit her, and if you do, your face has to be covered. Like everything is just, it's really impeding on this idea of like a connection, a real.
Yeah, you got to jump through so many hoops, right?
Yeah.
Just make it really hard for people.
You know, it's
and I've never heard
very,
so many young people not wanting to live. There's so many young kids calling in the kids helpline and like killing themselves and getting depression. Like young kids that like they shouldn't even be thinking those thoughts. Like that's an epidemic. Like that's a real problem.
I've seen 2 kids emails from moms. I guess their kids go to the high schools. I've seen 2 emails in the past 2 weeks of kids that have killed themselves somewhere in Ontario. Yep. Yeah. It's crazy, man. And
That's
you know
great,
what?
man. We're never going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're never going to talk about it. One day it's going to be a statistic in a book and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's going to use that to lie with those fucking numbers.
I think there's like 3 things. Either we prevail and we beat this evil and we wake everybody up, or we're totally fucked and everybody's brainwashed, or we're totally fucked and then people start to say, oh shit, how did we get here?
Yeah.
They start to realize.
There's always out.
Yeah.
There's always out. The pendulum always swings the other way.
Yeah.
It's going to go back. But
There's gonna be a
how it
divide.
goes
I think it's
back-
going to be bloody, bro. I think there's gonna be riots.
Well, I mean, man, you know what?
It might have to be. That might have to be the way it goes because, like, peace, like people just being peaceful, like us going to a protest, like, what is that really doing? You know, it's like hopefully it does.
And then
like
you're
I
getting
really
arrested,
pray.
but you're also getting arrested too.
A French
right?
Revolution. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but those get.
I know,
man.
I know. I don't want it to
really
get to that, man. Like the way that I prefer it, and this is why I'm so hard on talking to who I know on Instagram, or just posting on Instagram because of the people that I know, is I want people to wake up, man. I don't want to have to have it like get to that point, 10 years later where everything's gone to shit. It's like, okay, instead of letting shit happen and just saying, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna prepare for it, whatever armor or whatever shit you want to get to protect yourself, food down the line. Instead, I'm going to focus my time on waking people up so that they can stop certain things happening before they happen.
Exactly.
Guys, do you see right now they're doing Bill C-10?
Yeah.
This is what it is.
But again, it's something they always try to slide that in. They tried to do it a couple years ago in the U.S.
Jit pie, that freaking big tooth idiot.
But we always people prevail, man. I think and that's the other thing too. The psychological aspect of it is, I think there's a lot. It's the silent majority that people keep talking about. Mm-hmm. People are afraid. They're afraid to lose. I'm fortunate, man. I've been fortunate enough to not have to deal with that work environment. I don't, for a while now.
Yeah,
I
you're
got out of that world. Yeah, and I've been thankful to be able to live outside that, but I can totally understand and empathize why people are afraid to speak out.
Yeah,
they're so afraid of losing their jobs, of losing their,
cogs in the machine now, right?
Yeah, I
well,
see
people
it,
have
man,
so much invested into this reality that it's like, okay, well, if I like change my mind, I have so much to change. I have so much to do, and people are just not willing to do the work.
I can imagine, man. Yeah. A lot of these guys working from home, they're making probably like what, 80 to 100, 120, maybe more a year, right? 1,000.
Yeah.
And why are you gonna say anything? I'll work from home and I'll stay home. It's okay. In my condo, nice condo,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I know,
it's so easy.
And I think that's what. That's where again, I'm thankful for that. But that's also what bothers me. That's what gets me out to the protests, is because if you can't address and acknowledge that not everybody lives that way, we have a big problem. There's a big issue. Of course, it's fucking, man, I'll stay home every fucking day. I got a pool, a hot tub, a sauna, I got all these things. Yeah, I don't need to leave the house.
Yeah.
But man, when all you got is four walls, a small ass studio, all your food comes out of a microwave, like that's not living at all. The quality of life is, you're deteriorating at that point, especially in a city where you go, your life revolved around the life of the city, the energy of the city. You never stayed home. I don't give a fuck if I had 10 square feet where I was out all the time. The city kept you busy, man. It's what
kept
gave
you
you that.
Healthy
Yeah,
life.
Absolutely, man. It gave you
that dopamine
vitality.
Rush. That's natural.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you
Absolutely,
have conversations with people, you feel really good, man. Like you can have
feel
a really
great
shitty
dancing. You feel great getting drunk. People felt that, man, and now you take all that away and you go.
It's just sometimes you wake up and it just feels pointless, man. Like the past 2 weeks, I've been a little down. I've been drinking a lot. That's probably half of it.
That doesn't help. I'm sure.
Oh man, drinking, it really puts you in a low frequency.
It's a depressant, man.
Yeah,
it's a chemical depressant.
It took me a few years to realize that. I realized that about like a year and a half ago.
Man, I'm not opposed to people finding ways to loosen up, to live life. I'm not opposed to that, but I think that people should be like just so much better informed of the chemicals we're playing with. Let's get into the chemistry, right? Like if it's a depressant, how are you going to expect to feel happy for long? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But whereas weed's not a depressant, it can make you feel, you can make you feel depressed, but it's not that it is a depressant itself. It
brings you as much joy. It just brings you depth into whatever you're thinking, whether it's positive or negative. That's it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't really always pull you in the one direction like alcohol. That's so shit about it, right?
Right.
But so I haven't drank in a long time. I've had Like I've gone like 9 years, and then I drank when I met her.
Okay.
And
bad
then,
influence.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
yeah.
shit.
And then now I can, if the situation calls for it. I rarely ever do, man. I just have no.
You know how to enjoy yourself without it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's my issue sometimes.
That's not
too.
to say
Yeah.
anything, man. I smoke a lot. You know, I have my little. I got my vice.
Yeah.
I like my certain things.
You have your own poisons, exactly.
Yeah, man. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't had Tylenol in like 5 years, or an Advil or nothing, but I've had plenty of weed. You know, so it helps.
So what? You guys eat good, eh? Like clean.
Yeah.
Like
We try to.
We try to, man. We eat a lot of junk food. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, we're like,
yeah.
we're vegan,
But we
but
do
there's
the
obviously
vegan
like
thing.
junk food.
But the meals
still.
are legit, like. But then I guess the junk food in between, eh?
Yeah.
Not even in
But-
between. You can have meals of junk, but
Yeah.
it's just, man, it's gotten harder. It's gotten harder for us because we're ordering Uber more, healthier choices on Uber. We eat usually just like once a day, maybe.
Oh yeah,
If-
me too. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eat at night.
Yeah.
And
then
like
so
we
you're
were cooking,
Yeah.
I still cook a lot, but it's like now I never had anxiety. It was never a problem for me, nothing. But now going to,
Good.
I used to love doing it. I used to love going,
Yeah.
you know, we'd go to the grocery store every like other day to like get fresh food and, you know, make it. And now it's like, it's just me, you know, having to go and like explain every time, and then people just staring at you
Okay.
because, you know, the mask itself, I do not like not being able to breathe. That alone gives me a bit of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I never had it before. This kind of like triggered, and even just going out in public now, I'm like,
It's the cortisol, right? If you
Yeah.
want to get into the science of that. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, it's just
Yeah, it sucks, man. That's why a lot of people just wear the mask, right? 'Cause they're
Yeah.
like, oh, like you get anxiety anyways. Either
Yeah.
way, right?
yeah,
Either through fighting for your rights or wearing the mask, right?
yeah.
You're boiling hot. Your heart's going crazy. I tried to do a G2 test with a mask on. Holy cow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
failed.
You
I was
did.
panicking, man. I couldn't breathe and stuff. I was like,
Oh,
you know, I was
man.
so nervous, right? You know how I am. Like, I already came in here nervous, like, you know, but
No, for sure. It's just like, yeah, because what do you do when
Did you try?
when you're having anxiety? You take a deep breath, right?
don't know.
You can't take a
I
deep
don't
breath
know
with a
if-
mask.
I don't know, man. I don't have any good way of handling my anxiety sometimes, man.
Really?
Like, sometimes I just feel like I can't breathe. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do.
What, when you have the mask on?
No, just in general. But, like, with the mask on, I don't
Oh
really...
man, see, that's a smoking shit. What do you still, how many cigarettes do you smoke?
Oh, man.
Yeah, let's get into this, man. I lied about the podcast. This isn't about freedom. This is about your smoking habits. I
Oh,
had
no.
to figure out a way to get you on.
Intervention, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I smoke a pack a day, man.
Do you actually?
Yeah, more sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's gotta.
Has it gone up since everything?
Yeah, and this is the issue. Yeah, there's just nothing to do. Like, you know,
I get that, man.
like I
get
could
that.
work, man. I get it. I'm lazy, you know. I've gotten lazy, but I'm not gonna wear a mask, man. I'm not gonna.
No.
But, you know, my older sister said that, you know, in her opinion, she thinks that's immature. She's like, you know, she's totally with me. She said, fuck the vaccine, everything. But she's like, you got to do what you got to do to earn money, you know.
Yeah, but
But-
there's ways, man. There's always ways.
Yeah.
There's always ways. We can figure these things out. We can. Man, there's so many different ways. You even you fuck with crypto, don't you? You never
Small
know, man.
money, man.
It doesn't
Small
matter.
money.
Small money
That's
could
it.
turn into small money, dude. Can turn into ridiculous amounts on this stuff.
You gotta hold.
You've. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you've seen guys. You might have met guys that, you know,
Oh, but you got to at least put in $1,000, you know,
anything helps,
for
man.
crypto.
You could put $100 and that could be 10 grand.
Nah, that's a long game, man. That's a long game.
Not even, man.
Yeah.
Not even. You could do it, man. There's guys that have. I didn't think it was possible, but dudes have become millionaires off nothing, dude.
But have you really looked into their stories though? Because they must have been holding stuff like Ethereum back in like 2015, 17.
It's not even. I mean, if
Like-
you play with it, I think a young kid we were talking with last night that was chatting with us. He even said himself. He goes, "You got to
Yeah.
be willing to take the risks."
Yeah.
And some of those guys that took those risks, man, it really, and not even on some lotto tip, man. It's not like they won the lottery lucky. It's
Yeah.
like they caught the pattern. They go, hey, man, this seems like something people will be into, and they,
And they 1000x'd.
yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
imagine that. $100 turns into like 100,000. Like,
That's
Dude, Doge. If you, if you got into Doge even a couple weeks ago,
a month ago, it was under 10 cents.
Really?
Yeah, a month ago it was 7 cents a month ago.
And now it's up to 60?
80.
80. I'm dealing with Canadian prices.
Oh, Canadian.
Canadian prices.
Yeah.
So again,
okay.
so then it was like what, 5 cents, and now it's like 65 or something.
I thought it was 85 yesterday.
No,
Was
but
it
that's
American?
Canadian. That's Canadian.
Oh, that's
That's
okay.
true.
So
It was at 30 cents US, which is probably 10 cents Canadian then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a month ago. That's
Yeah.
crazy, right?
It's man, some of the some of these kids are, and it's interesting too, man. The one thing that again, it's almost like the ego getting involved, where you go, the kids, stocks are an old man game.
Uh-huh.
Crypto is the new stocks.
Yeah, it
You know what I
really
mean?
is,
and,
man.
And the kids are buying into it. And you're either going to be the old guy that's just, too grumpy to go, no, I don't know. I don't need these cell phones. Forget these cell phones.
Yeah, you're going to fall
the
behind.
internet. And you go, cool, man, but you're going to,
you'll fade away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you gotta get with the
tech,
times.
With tech, maybe it's fine. But when it comes to money, there's a... we shouldn't sleep on some of it. You know, it's like you're
NFTs too. I feel like I missed out on that. Like I'm like, like digital art. That's stupid.
No, I think so.
Own
I think too many people are throwing shit at it now.
I was into it. I'm into it. I think it's still early enough in the game that you could definitely get into it. I mean,
okay.
Whether you're a buyer or a creator.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people that kind of doubt it and think it's silly, right? So.
Yeah, but that was like Bitcoin when it came out too. It's like, but this is just another.
But this is that window still right now. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like everything. Cell phones were supposed to be dumb too. They were big and clunky, and it was the about. The
government knew about cell phones fucking 30 years before that.
You think they knew smartphone, cell phone? Like you think they were like,
so,
Steve Jobs was in on it?
You ask a conspiracy theorist, they always say that it was 40 years. Now people are saying 100, but they say that the military, the U.S. and I guess Canadian, but really the U.S., their military, the technology that they have, their black projects. Yeah, it was 40 years ahead that they said, but now people are saying 100, and I can see that actually happening. They got acoustic weapons that can cause earthquakes and tsunamis, direct energy weapons. This stuff is real. Mm-hmm. It sounds crazy, but it's actually technology.
They put that shit in Call of Duty.
Direct energy weapons.
Yeah.
With the little arm with the dish on the top, and floating
like
above,
a laser
like in the orbit, like
that scorches.
Holy shit!
Yeah, man, that was on one of the Call of Duties. It was like a kill streak.
Wow.
You could get they slip it. They slip it right in and go. Or the guys making the video games are total conspiracy nuts. One or the other. I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Yeah.
Right? Because you just go, it's what it is, man. They get people. It's tricky because it's like you get people used to the idea that programming, right? To go.
I don't know. There's one example I've seen in one video. The guy's like, oh, if you want to start building an engine in your living room, your wife doesn't want that, obviously. So what do? You bring in a few pieces every day, every week, and eventually you're building an engine, like, Yeah. Or it's like boiling the frog, right? We're the frog. You can't throw the people into hot water right away. You got to throw them in while it's, just heating up and then boil it slowly.
God damn.
Then it won't jump. Yeah. Yeah.
You cook it in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, we buy our own hot tubs. That's a trip. All right, man.
Should we
Yeah, let's we're done here.
Yeah, no PCR?
Oh, you want to talk PCR?
Oh man, hell yeah!
I forgot. Yeah,
people need to learn what the difference is.
What do you think, man? I got to.
Yeah, I mean, you ask me questions, man. Yeah. You take the lead on it. So.
What do you have you had to do one?
No, I'm never doing one. I will never do one, bro. And this is the issue too with long-term care. In order to see your loved one, you got to do one. That sucks. That's how they're stopping people. Just because we mentioned that before.
Yeah,
old term or long term. Yeah.
And why won't you do it? You think it's
I don't know. I don't know 100% if I can because I don't know the science totally behind the blood-brain barrier. You just see pictures.
Can you hit the blood-brain barrier through the mouth though? I thought is that just through the nose? Right. So if they do the throat swab,
I'm not doing that shit either, man.
What about a saliva test?
I just no. No, there's no reason for them to have my DNA, unless I want to. Like what I was thinking about was going for an antibody test. So there's IgG antibodies and IgM. So IgG are the long-lasting antibodies after an infection. IgM is short-term. So it's usually about, so you get sick and they usually come about 7 to 10 days after, and those will protect you short-term. So it kind of works like a curve, right? So IgM comes in, goes like that, fades off. As it fades off, then you get the long-term IgG coming in, and that can last for years, right? So when you get an antibody test, that's what they're testing you for, IgG, IgM.
How do they test that? Through blood?
Through blood, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have your DNA.
You can find antibodies in blood, yeah.
They're gonna have your DNA for
well,
sure.
That's what I'm saying, exactly. Yeah, I'd rather not.
I mean, man, I get it. I used to be against like the 23andMe shit. I used to I don't see how you don't see it as giving your DNA.
Yeah.
But then
you don't know what they're doing with it. Like they probably got a whole
making other versions of you. Somebody was telling me
some crazy conspiracy thing. Like maybe they're trying to, like the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds especially, because they got a lot of people in their family.
Okay.
And maybe they're trying to find their lineage. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Oh, to see who else is. Yeah, I don't want to.
PCR test everybody.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I know.
Yeah, that's another thing too, man. I've always worried about that. Because what if it's like some comic book shit. What if they find out you have some kind of superpower or you got the super antibodies?
Yeah.
And they're like, his body can cure.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. No, man. You get the fuck away from my body. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need to know anything. Yeah. And like, I haven't went to a doctor in like a really long time, man. I stopped going in high school because I was like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
One time I popped my eardrum. There was a small hole. My ear was hurting, and then he looks inside and he's like, there's a hole. I'm gonna call a specialist. I'll get him to call you. I had no call. I just had to deal with it myself.
I just heard something yesterday on Instagram. So have you been jabbed up as a kid? Did you get all your?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, most of us did.
Yeah.
90% of people did, probably more.
And I was sick as a kid, bro.
I just heard something. I just heard.
I always felt like I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I heard a doctor talking about it yesterday that said one of the main reasons kids get ear infections is because of that. Is because that's what makes them like super prone to it.
The vaccines.
Yeah, as they get
peanut allergies. Okay,
oh,
you're a little older than me. Do you remember kids in school, bro, with peanut allergies?
No, man, it didn't. We would like. I remember rubbing peanut butter on people's like faces and stuff.
No way, man.
Yeah, that would never be.
My generation, like it's perfect. Like I was right at the start. Like Generation Z is fucked.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
like I had that in between. Like you know, it was that perfect little era to see what things were like. You know. Just as the internet was like picking up steam, just as technology was picking up steam, but I actually got to play outside and stuff. So,
how old are you?
Almost 26 actually. Next week, I think. Next Sunday.
Shit.
Yeah.
Taurus. Me too.
Oh, good shit. Say what day?
Yesterday.
Oh shit! Happy belated birthday! What the?
Thank you.
Oh shit! That's why you're busy too, eh?
I was, man.
Shit! Okay.
Things to do.
Yeah.
Wait, let's get back to the PCR though.
PCR
okay,
now.
So
antibodies we got down. Yeah. Sorry.
No.
So there's another thing too. Like people have to understand what live and dead virus is. So live virus, it can actually replicate. You know what I'm saying? So it's in scientific terms, it's replication competent. You know, it has the brain to
the ability to procreate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you have dead
or
virus,
replicate.
yeah, even procreate too, I guess, right? Basically,
it's humping itself.
Oh my god,
they
that's
do that.
Hilarious.
I think snails do that too. They fuck themselves. They're hermaphrodites. Yeah, they just
holy shit.
And then they make another one that could just fuck
that's
itself
messed
too.
up, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. What the hell?
Nature, man.
But dead viruses. So you got live, they can replicate, and then dead. Dead viruses can be fragments, man. They can be remnants of past infection, man. So
for sure, like if your body was this temple, let's call it something crazy like that, right? If your body was a temple and there were viruses always floating through it, it's like, and the virus inside your blood on a microscopic level is like, let's say the size of a wild boar.
Okay. Yeah.
Then it's like you're finding dead boars and boar carcasses in your temple. And then you're like, oh, look, you have the virus because there's a dead boar in your temple.
Not just microscope, but this is what they're using the PCR to do, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I know, man.
we have I think it's over 3 or 4 trillion viruses in our bodies. Like we probably all have hepatitis B and HIV, all that
yes.
shit.
Yes.
You know?
It's all lying dormant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the whole thing with the HIV thing back then too, because it's like who knows, man? Maybe we all have it. But you guys want to put it in an instrument that essentially can take a little hair and make it a whole freaking ponytail.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you just totally want to blow it up. So
Yeah.
And then the number one thing, okay, now again, statistics. This is what drives me up the wall with insanity. If something didn't exist before, and you start to test it,
yes,
it is only gonna go up.
Yeah.
It only has one direction.
Exactly.
Because it never existed before that.
It's like measles and all that shit too.
Absolutely.
You just had a better means of finding it. You know? It's so
I mentioned
weird.
this on the last one, man, that I heard this one doctor say that the invention of the microscope did to medicine what the invention of television did for like propaganda.
Yeah.
Because once you were able to take the photo of the thing,
it's like the mouthpiece for your bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the photo. Now you're able to get a story to make up for that photo.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. This is a spike protein, blah, 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 blah. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking, I don't have a
Exactly.
subatomic microscope. Where can I get one? Oh, I can't buy one because I'm not a scientific medical
Oh,
field.
don't worry. You don't know anything about what
Do
we
you know what
know.
I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
just take our word for it. Trust the science.
Let's say I had money.
Yeah.
Let's say I had money. I'm ready to buy. You can't get one because you don't have this medical license.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even if I wanted to, if I said, hey, man, I'm curious. I'm a curious guy. I want to know more about this. You can't.
Exactly.
You can't. There's a very strict policy in place to make sure that sort of stuff.
So you're being serious about the microscope though.
Yeah, there was a doctor that said that. To me, it was very profound.
So
It was
once
like
you
very-
reach there's, I guess you can only get basic ones, right? Is what you're saying. Once you reach a certain grade of microscope, they're gonna give you shit. Like,
yeah, I
you're gonna
know
have to jump through
someone.
hoops.
Or
I
they're
know
so
someone.
expensive.
Yeah, I know a person that has a large microscope that's like it was obtained from a school that was like just throwing out old equipment because they got the new equipment.
Yeah.
So it's like a microscope from the 80s or something. But you know, the size of that and everything, like you have to make this giant fucking. It's on some Willy Wonka shit, dude.
It's that big.
It's huge. It's like it's a full desk, maybe like
Holy shit.
4 feet by 4 feet.
so weird.
Right? It's this big desk, this huge thing, very like. It's very high tech, high grade, right? And it's big. It comes with some super old computer that's like more worthless than your phone.
Oh shit.
And it's when you look at the size of this thing, the fact that somebody had to make this tool
Yeah.
just to be able to get this
like a
tiny
car.
picture, but just to get a tiny picture of some
Yeah.
thing inside you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they go, well, that's what this is now. You have it.
Yeah.
And you go, but hey, I don't feel anything. I don't. And they go, oh, well, that's asymptomatic. That
Well,
means
that's what
it's-
pisses me off, man. Is okay. So the PCR is not testing for. I mean, they claim it tests for COVID-19. COVID-19's a disease caused by a virus. So how does the PCR work? It detects a genetic code of a virus, the genome of DNA or RNA, right? COVID-19, that's a disease. You only have a disease if you're sick. You know? So you're not positive for COVID-19. They're just telling people that, like,
That's like
it's
the whole HIV. It's like a scam in a sense because it's like, oh, you could not have symptoms for your whole life and you'll just like you'll die
And it's
eventually.
like-
It's like, well, that's life.
oh,
like,
HIV did it. Like,
yeah, exactly. And
it's so
like,
weird.
It's just an excuse, I think, because we have these things within us and they can just pull it out and be like, okay, this
Yeah.
is the illness, when it's actually the environment around us that's just triggering our bodies to like expel shit.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get sick. It's because you have something.
Oh, the exosomes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys into that? I think it's terrain theory.
I don't know what theory. Like, I'm just reading a book, Virus Mania, right now, and
Ben Cowan or something. I think not Ben. No. what's
well,
his
I'll
name?
go grab it. It's fine.
That's the college professor. No. You know about this guy?
I don't.
Oh shit, something Cowan, I think. Okay. Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's there's a, you know what, man, it's tricky. I like to look at other ideas and stories. Like, I like to play with things that
I've seen this before too. Sorry.
No, it's when you look at there's a lot of things. You know, Mother Teresa hung out with sick people, dying people, lepers, people highly contagious, AIDS. You know,
Yeah.
all these people never caught anything. Never caught anything.
That's true.
So to me, and like, I mean, again, you go, it's the Bible, whatever, but Jesus did the same thing. The Buddha was untouchable. The Prophet Muhammad was like, you know, he blasted up. Like, there's certain things where
you can almost feel that it's evidence.
Yeah, it's
that,
very,
you know, thought.
It's just as real as the other side. If you're gonna tell me that there's tiny, that I'm me, I'm man, I'm here on Earth, and these tiny things that I can't see are like just everywhere, and they're coming to get me.
Yeah.
And that I don't have immunity in me where I need assistance from an external
source.
Yeah, there's something very strange to that, man. And then we see, and we've heard stories, and we've seen things of people hanging out with that, and you don't catch it. So it really seems like I spoke about this before. Why is it almost not detectable in kids?
Yeah.
It could, to me, just as easily be correlated that they have no concept of anything to do with the virus. They have no idea what any of this shit means, man.
Yeah,
so why would they get sick from it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't even exist to them, so they're not thinking about it.
Right. You don't believe in it. It's like you got to believe it.
And then if you have a doctor saying that kids get ear infections from getting jabbed up, then you go, then most illness seems to come from that sort of stuff.
Whatever's supposed to save us, right?
Instead of us
exactly right.
living and experiencing. But man, this isn't even on a conspiracy tip. This goes now, like, people have been saying all kinds of stuff where just everything we do, women's umbilical cords get cut too quick. That's something like hospitals are just like, bam. And that's supposed to be like, there's supposed to be this window like 30 minutes after birth where it's so important to make eye contact with the child, to create that connection, the bond, and it's so important to have all the nutrients that take time to...
They want to get people away from that, man.
Absolutely, man. Don't take them away from a natural source. Something that heals you, that gives you all this power to yourself. But instead they're like, no, we can help you, we're your power.
I would love to see studies like this. Is what we need too, is like we need to have more comparisons of, you know, true non-vaccinated kids versus vaccinated,
for sure.
You know, just so many different things, right? Just really compare you know, our systems to alternative, more conspiratorial systems, right? You know, homeschooling compared to actually being indoctrinated in an indoctrination camp, which is school, right? You know, like but they don't want to open that. They don't want to have that dialogue either, right? They don't.
Or maybe these places, I think about this a lot, man. Maybe these places already exist, because if you weren't in the system, then why would you also be in the system? Do you know what I mean? So if someone isn't vaccinating their kids, they're homeschooling. They've been homeschooling. Homeschooling is not a new thing. I remember laughing at kids when I was younger at the idea of homeschooling. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost like you were a nerdy kid in school when you were young. But it's always existed, and maybe people got better at that too. So we're just people that were in the system trying to get out. But I'm sure there's people that have been out that have, you know.
That's what it is. They don't want to push people to get out of the system. It's all about being dependent on the government, you know?
Keep feeding the machine.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to... It's like you said, you invest your life, you know? Just being a normal person. You actually went to school. You were in a frat. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. It's easy to be normal, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's easy.
That's how you get through in life.
So what do you think? What do you think we do about this PCR stuff?
Oh man, I think people need to be educated though. Like I was saying, know the difference between live and dead virus, and that when the PCR is picking up, you know, whenever somebody's positive for COVID, it's not necessarily picking up replication competent virus that can actually replicate and cause disease. You know, you got these articles. One lady, she gave birth. They took her baby away because she tested positive. She tested positive for 55 days. Not every single day, but she probably about 35 tests in 55 days tested positive.
Oh my God.
And there's a few of these, man. One lady, she tested 13 times. Had to do 13 tests to get 2 negatives.
See, I get bothered. I get bothered by the timing
bullshit.
of that.
Like, that's clearly bullshit.
It clearly cannot. And the only way is if I think it's called a BSO level 3 lab or something. But it's a level 3 lab. Wuhan is what? Level 5 or level 4? Level 4. But level 3, you need a level 3 lab. And you need to take these samples. That should be the gold standard. That's actually what the gold standard is. Over PCR, would you bring it into level 3 lab, put it under a microscope and whatever you do, and see if it can actually replicate. You have to culture it. You have to culture it, and that's the idea behind culturing stuff. If you culture something like a virus or whatever, you're culturing it to see if it can replicate, right?
Yes.
And that's the issue. If a virus, it can't replicate, it can't culture, then you know what I mean. It's dead virus.
Yeah, I remember hearing a doctor talk about that, where he made the mention that it's as if the only time they've ever even done it was after the animal has died. When they did animal testing, they were only able to find a virus that replicated after it died and the body was beginning to decompose.
That's weird.
So it's also something where you go, that's not a normal condition.
Yeah.
Because death and decay is not where like that's
things replicate,
decay
like
to like, you know what I mean, to consume and decompose the thing, but it doesn't happen in a live host. So they would try to take this dead stuff and put it into live, and almost every time you go, it ends up diseased because you're putting
garbage,
a decaying thing inside a living thing, and so it begins to replicate. So he was saying that that entire concept of it, I guess that's the whole, germ theory, maybe.
Germ theory is what we all,
what we go by now.
What we go by, really.
Okay.
And I guess they call it exosome theory, but I've been hearing about terrain theory. Yeah.
I see. So. I really think it's like, I really think the power of the mind. I think the body is getting sick to tell us something. I think we have the ability to heal. People heal through very incredible ways, man, without these assistances, without these chemicals.
You ever see a spider? Say we saw, you see a spider, and maybe for like 5 minutes after, you feel like, any slight movement or you got bugs on you. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten that. No,
I've gotten it before, but now I've made peace with the spiders.
Or the pan's hot in the oven. It's really not that hot, and you go to touch it, and you're thinking it's hot, right?
Right. Yeah.
You can actually feel it be hot,
even though it's not.
And then you go and you say, okay, let me just grab it, and then you're like, holy shit. What did I just do? You play games. You can actually do that stuff.
Psych yourself out.
Yeah, man. And I think that's doctor tells you have a disease. What's going to happen, man? You're probably going to start to deteriorate.
Yeah. Whatever you believe is what comes true, for you. It's what materializes. You're manifesting, you manifest. If you're told a certain way. Yeah. If you told, you're dumb, you're poor, you're whatever, it's I'm gonna stay in that low vibe, I'm gonna keep it there. And if you tell yourself positive,
reaffirmance,
reaffirmations, it's all within the mind. Like you said, you felt the heat. It's it's all created within.
Exactly.
So we just got to get better at telling ourselves, I'm healthy, I'm loved, I'm all these things, and disease won't be able to live there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what us crazy conspiracy theorists have been doing for the past year, So, I don't know. It's weird, man. Everybody that stays positive usually, I don't know anybody that's gotten sick yet, so.
Me neither. Well, I know
we
know,
have a couple friends, but
it's
also
it just
they
seemed
were
like
around
the flu.
it, and
it wasn't like where they're in the ICU. And,
no, they made it
exactly.
through, thankfully.
They were sick for a couple days.
I do know a few people that are in ICU. I've known a few people that have passed. I've known a few people that have passed with nothing, without it. It's just funny, man. We don't have any ability to talk about death. We're not allowed
we're
to,
so separated from it. And I was watching
it's such
a video.
Natural part of life.
Yeah.
I
think it's decades of socialization and making people like that.
Because to live is to die, right?
And now we're talking about immortality, downloading your brain too.
Yes.
It's exactly what you're saying. Straight. Don't even think about death. It's non-existent, and we just want to live forever.
Yeah.
It's all, and that's another thing too with the social engineering, is self-preservation, man.
Yeah.
Self-preservation. There's certain tendencies that people have. That he has his book, Edward Bernays, that same guy, the public relations guy, propaganda. The first one is actually crystallizing public opinion. This is 1923, and then I think 1928 was propaganda, and he just mapped it all out. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, there have been so many books, man. 100-year-old, 200-year-old book, and they just
Gustave
hit it on
Le Bon.
Yeah, there's so many that just you look at it, and 1984 is another one. That was in the 50s, I think.
It's so weird.
And you go, that's today.
Yeah,
it's not like in that day it didn't even make sense. This idea of a screen in your home telling you what to do, that was absurd at that time.
Funny,
that was sci-fi. And now you go, oh no, we're there. Your TV's got a microphone. It's a smart
trippy.
TV. It's all these things.
You got to really think about it from that time, that perspective.
He really saw far ahead. He could really see the way that this was playing out.
Yeah,
because it really only does have one sort of rhythm to it too. Like it marches like that military beat. Like that.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's
like a machine.
It's the party,
like
right?
It's a very. He could see it, man, and it's a. There have been a lot of people that have done that tried to tell you and warn you.
I think a lot of these guys were connected though too, right? So you got Aldous Huxley as well, right? He wrote Brave New World, which you could also say is a lot more comparable to now with the drugs and just people loving. You come home and you don't want to think about anything. You just you have your Netflix. You're just you're pleasured into your servitude. Basically, that's what it is, right? Yeah. So and Aldous, man, his whole family's pretty big, man. He's got this 5 of them, 5 brothers.
But there's stuff like that. Look at us.
No, but Julian Huxley, okay?
Yeah.
This guy ended up working with the UN. So there's an arm of the UN called UNESCO. It's the Educational, Science, and Cultural Organization of UN. This guy started it. He got voted to be the first general director or whatever. And man, I have the book. It's 60 pages. On the first page of the book, it's titled, something, the philosophy of UNESCO, something like that. But on the first page, it says, UNESCO's purpose is to fulfill the goals of the United Nations, and there are 2 goals. The first goal goes to end humanity, and I have it on my phone, but end humanity, basically.
What the fuck?
By all means, type thing. And he was a transhumanist. He really brought to the table the idea of being a transhuman, with robotics.
Okay.
Stuff that Klaus Schwab is into now, right? With the 4th Industrial Revolution. That's why, these guys are connected. It's really relevant,
Yeah, it's going to get down to
get into the history of it.
Cyborg human versus organic human.
Yeah.
It really
just
is going to get to that.
Trap you in, when you this comes back to death, mortality. It's if you, let's say you're let's put your consciousness into a box. It's you're totally trapping yourself into this one small
vessel
piece of reality when it's this infinite, death is your next trip.
Yeah.
It's you're an infinite being with infinite possibility that you could explore.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell you that this is it. And
trap
I think,
you in a box.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck as you forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe don't even have human rights at that point.
No, of course not. You know what it is, man? That's what I even see too with this. It's almost like you become a corporate number at that point. They got you. They got you scanned and branded. Yeah.
Yeah.
You took the.
That's really where I see it going. They really want us, because that's the thing we're obviously we're human. We're animals, but we're still separate from most animals, right? But they want to blend that barrier. They don't, and I think what's blocked,
blend it so we're like the animals.
They want to treat us like animals, right? But right now we can't, because we have human rights protecting us, right?
But again, we don't. That's something. Again, see that's something I think that focuses on the individual. The individual has these rights. I hope that the individual is the one with these rights, and no one can take those rights away from you unless you give it to them.
Yeah.
And the problem is we give it in these very weird ways. We consent in very different ways, and we all kind of are guilty of it.
Yeah.
But it's us doing it because we should be as free as can be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So long as you're not committing any crime, there has to be law and order. But that's it, man.
I know. I know, man. I know there's so many injustices. I'm not turning a blind eye to that. I know it happens.
No. Yeah.
Just time and time again. But I truly do believe this is kind of what we're sort of in the search of. Even is what needs to be done to reach that level of freedom and sovereignty, to be that kind of person where you go, man, I'm just at the law of the land.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just leave me. I'm with the animals.
How do we do that? You know what I mean? Like I've always like, you know, I'm like, yo, if we buy an island, like we all pitch in money and buy an island, like
sure.
Could we call it another country? You'd have to have a certain amount of people, I believe. There's a certain way to go about it.
You ever look into Osho?
You get a flag? No.
Check out that guy, man. That guy did it. He did it in the U.S. He basically took all the rules of the game, and they were like, you know, what does it take to be a city, a town? What do you have? And he did it. Yeah. He had a group of 2,000 people in this town. It was a successful city. It was very successful. They militarized it, but then at some point it gets into petty. Really, it gets into petty drama. That's sort of what breaks it apart.
Yeah, regular shit.
Man, just day to day shit. Yeah. But they did still prove a great point, man. There is a foundation of that idea that's been laid out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we can build on those bigger ideas to go, well, people have done it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think, well, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if you can, did he turn it into a state or something within United States?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was in Ohio. You got to look into it, read up on it. But I think
Portland.
It was Portland.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Oh my God. It's not Chad, is it?
No, it's not Chad, dude. It's Osho. This guy's had books. He's pretty. Yeah. He's a spiritual dude.
Like guru kind of guy.
No, this is like a total his books.
Like
people still read his books, and it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a series on Netflix actually about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a trick though, man. Get a country going. And there's only 2 or 3 that didn't sign Agenda 21, no?
Yeah, no, I think there's more than that, man. Okay. I think there's more.
Maybe 7.
What is the agenda? Do you know what it outlines?
Read it.
Okay, so what I think, we'll just say what the end goal here is to really just micromanage and have everybody in a surveillance state.
Micromanage, eh?
Yeah, micromanage every aspect of your life.
Microchips.
Every aspect, bro. They want to be able to read your temperature. This is what they're talking about in the future. It's crazy, man. They want to invade every little piece of your life. Because
our phones do a lot of it already.
Yeah, but
our phones have health things
on
now.
a biological
counting our steps.
Yeah,
it's counting our steps, counting our heartbeats when we hold it.
I know. I don't like that shit, man.
I know, man. It's something we need to be more conscious of, but then we need the tools to use it. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but I'm just nervous about when they start to get this whole fourth industrial revolution stuff. That's Klaus Schwab's idea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, where he's talking about quantum computing and artificial intelligence and you know, it's nutty shit, man. Nanotechnology.
Yeah. That's what I heard on the swabs.
These guys have smart dust, bro.
What?
Yeah. Fucking little nano microchips that you can throw in a dust and it just...
I know, and they drop it.
Yeah, there's your vaccine.
Terrifying.
They'll put it in a popular science journal. Mm-hmm. They'll do it from 5 years ago, and nobody blinks an eye when it comes around.
Yeah,
they don't.
Or they create a problem that requires that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly, and it looks like a solution.
Blocking
it's like,
out the sun.
It's
yeah.
Trying to block out the sun.
Holy
stuff
crap,
like that.
Man.
Like
maybe that's why
helping the earth.
Maybe that's why Melinda left Bill. She's like, I don't agree with that anymore, Bill.
Man, that's
you'd hope. Like, you hope.
I really, truthfully hope that if there's a good side to that divorce, I think there's probably some fishy shit. But if there's a good side, I truthfully hope that this poor woman
No.
had no idea
She's
who
pulling
she
the
was
strings,
married
bro.
to. Man, I really like to think like
Look
just
into
what
her
if
parents, bro. Her parents, one of them was an IBM lawyer.
really.
Oh, yeah, and
Oh, so it's the same shit as always, man. It's like that weird incestual shit.
and that's why I think Bill got in with IBM at first, right? I think he had helped him kick off whatever, right? In the start was through the wife, man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So look into both Bill and Melinda's parents. They're very interesting people, actually.
Well,
Yeah,
this is gonna
Bill's
get
parents
scrubbed
for
from
sure.
the internet. 100%. This is not gonna exist.
Uncharted territory, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bill
yeah.
Gates sucks dick.
Yeah. Throw it out now. I mean, it's already gonna. Yeah.
Fuck Bill Gates, bro. I hate him, man.
I know, man. And I've
Ugh.
given so much money to Microsoft. I feel bad.
For
Never
me,
again.
I know there's worse guys, but for me, he's the worst because
I
that's
agree.
how I got into it with like, you know,
I
into
agree.
the whole thing with COVID. He was the front man, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Right.
Yeah. We got to do this another time, man. I'm going to come more prepared. I had so many other things to say for sure. And I just got to break it down a lot better. I was nervous today.
Well, whatever, man. People can
Yeah.
find
It was
you.
good, it
People
was
can
good.
find you online.
I haven't eaten too, so maybe that's another thing.
And you smoked a pack already. Yeah, where can people reach you, man? For the people that are listening.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the Instagram, you know, that's where I'm always posting.
Yeah. What's the handle?
It's OFIQETO. So that's Ofiqe TO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, thank you. I
Yeah,
really
thank you so
enjoyed this
much.
conversation.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you
good,
for-
guys. It was fun, actually. It was like, you know, I didn't have to get too much into everything, so it was good, man.
I think we're
Nice
on
and casual.
the same page with a lot of stuff, but you
Yeah.
know, and I
Yeah.
think the more information we put out is just more. It will get us into more trouble, so it's almost better
Oh,
for just
you think
people
so,
to.
eh?
I do, man. I do. I
Because
really
I got
do.
so
that.
much history I want to get into,
And
man.
I don't doubt it.
Rockefellers and,
I don't doubt
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
those
Oh,
are
yeah,
also
Oh, yeah.
those are names you don't just pull in lightly.
Oh,
Not
shit.
on this show.
Okay, fuck it.
No, I want it. I want to go deep.
Yeah, but I don't want to
Yeah.
have to fucking ever meet a rock. Meet
Meet a Rockefeller.
Yeah, man. I don't want to talk to those fucking
Kevin?
weirdos. The 900-year-old fucking.
Yeah.
It's like
demons.
skeletons. You can just
Uh,
like fucking knock them down.
Yeah, but they
Oh, man.
have weird
They always
sorcery.
look-
Never
Yeah.
discredit them. Don't think that they.
Sorcery.
It is, man. Star Wars had the Emperor. He was just some old dude, but he could still electrocute the fuck out of you. He
Oh,
still had
shit,
the dark
okay.
side in him.
God
These
damn.
guys are evil, man. I don't fucking. No, I would love
Yeah.
to beat their dead old bones, but
Oh, man. I would give up
I know.
my hand, even my arm, to just have 5 minutes with Bill Gates. Like,
Yeah.
some of these guys, man, like,
yeah,
yeah.
I get it, man. I
Yeah,
get
it
it.
just, I
That'd be
actually
sweet.
fantasize about beating them up a lot.
That's a good. I think that's a
Yeah.
healthy fantasy.
Yeah.
I
It's
think so.
fair.
You're
Okay,
assholes.
we're gonna get out of here before
Yeah.
this gets too violent. And we get,
All right.
man, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks
you
for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Peace.
Okay.